Welcome back to the Yins Betcha podcast. It feels good being on this mic right now. I tell you. Kevin always next to me. Dude, we got a lot to get through. A lot. It was hate week last week, as everyone knows. Our boys, they did it. They did it. We will get to that. We're gonna have some special guests come on. Maybe just one, but I don't know. We'll have.
We may fuck with other people.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see who wants to answer. I guess really. So we have that. We have a lot to get through. The recap of that game. And then it will be. We are here for Thursday Night Football too. So we are here for the Packers Lions game. So a little NFC North battle for you.
Best division of football.
Yeah. I never expected that this year, so I tell you that. So we got that going on, and then we're going to do some recapping of the college football slate of last week, rivalry week. And we have championship week this week, so the preview for that's not going to be as long. But then we still have NFL recap and preview. So a lot to get to, but very exciting stuff. So. I guess we can give a little preview to this game.
We're about to kick off here in a couple minutes. So,
yeah.
We will kind of go through what we think will happen tonight. Maybe I know we've had some success with predicting final scores.
I know.
On Thursday night we don't get the teams right, but we usually nail the score. One of us anyway.
Yeah.
So we can kind of throw that in real quick. I'm pretty torn tonight. Obviously,
for you,
the Vikings are kind of in between both teams.
Yeah,
we talked about it earlier today. Who I was rooting for tonight. A tie would be funny. But I guess I gotta be hoping that we can somehow get back in the division. I mean, not that we're out of the division race, but would love to get back in the league and try to get into potential home field advantage. So I guess I'm rooting for Green Bay tonight, just to kind of have the Vikings.
We talked earlier a little bit about it. You said they would have the tiebreaker too, so I guess Green Bay all around for you tonight.
Minnesota's already beat them head to head. Obviously, they played them and the Lions again. So at the end of the day, whatever happens tonight, if the Vikings take care of business, then it would work out for themselves anyway. I'm not going to put a lot of pressure on. So I'm excited tonight. I have a weird feeling that Green Bay might win.
Actually, I do too.
Due for a loss.
Yeah.
I felt that way for the last couple of weeks, and I've been wrong. I picked against them with my underdogs. I was going to pick the Bears had we been on the air prior to Thanksgiving, and maybe should have won. Obviously the coaching was fucked up there, and they took care of that.
Yeah.
So, But I think obviously Green Bay's a good team. They got the running game going, so the Lions are just depleted, and I feel like eventually that's going to catch up to them. They got 13 guys on the IR.
That's crazy. That is crazy. So I agree. I think I am going to take Green Bay tonight, but I do have the future for the Lions. So no hard, no foul here, I guess, because they are doing the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna go. My prediction for tonight is Green Bay 31-30. I can see Campbell doing something crazy, like going for 2 at the end.
Yeah, losing it like that.
Something like that. So that's going to be my final score. I'm going Packers 30.
I am going to take the Packers. I will say 28-22.
28-22.
Yeah.
So we're pretty close.
Yeah. Definitely within a touchdown, for sure.
Okay. So we both on Green Bay tonight, which
that'll be interesting.
Picking the Packers in anything.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah.
So, what do we want to do?
Yeah.
I know we got a special guest that we're going to get on the phone tonight.
Yes. Yes.
But we need some time for that, I guess. I don't know. Do we have enough to talk the game and have enough to fill it in and then give them a call? Or do we want to come back to it? And again, we're going to chapter this out for you guys. So if that's what you came on to hear tonight,
we can do that for you.
We can recap the rest of college football from Saturday.
Yeah,
I feel like that'll give us enough time to go into the game and then
call.
We'll give Andrew.
I like it.
So
we'll do that.
Let's review. Let's start with our locks of the week.
Yes.
In college football.
Yes.
Tyler and I had a pretty good Saturday.
Yeah.
So if any of you listened and got your parlay bets in, feel free to send us a cut. We both have Venmo, so
Yeah.
I want to hear that though. I would love somebody to say, "Hey, I took your locks and your underdogs and did a parlay." I would love to hear those stories. And you don't really have to give us money. Unless you want to.
Yeah.
We won't turn it down. So Tyler had his favorite was Florida laying 15 in Tallahassee.
Let's go. Go Gators.
Florida 131 to 11. So you covered that and on the road. So you got a 5-pointer for that one. I had SMU at home against Cal, laying 13.5. They won 38-9. So SMU keeps winning.
Dude, SMU.
Number 8 in the country right now.
Crazy.
Although we talked a little bit about we're not going to go too far into the playoff picture because it's going to change again anyway after championship weekend. But SMU is one of those teams I still think they need to win and get in against Clemson.
Yeah.
I just don't think they're going to take a 2-loss SMU team over a 3-loss out.
No, Clemson has 2 losses?
Clemson has 3.
See, that's what I don't.
So Clemson has to win to get in.
Yeah.
And the ACC does get an automatic bid. More than likely, they're going to end up the 4 seed,
which is crazy to me.
That game.
Yeah.
Although no, actually, I take that back because Arizona Big 12.
Yeah.
So the winner of Arizona State, Iowa State will probably be
the next one in for the
maybe
bye week.
3 if Clemson wins. So because they're ranked, both of those teams are ranked.
Yeah.
I think they're actually ranked between Arizona State, Iowa State, and Clemson. They're 15, 16, 17.
Wow.
So the winner of Arizona State, Iowa State, in theory, should be ranked higher than Clemson.
I think
number 8 team to get there. So maybe they don't. Who knows?
This is such a weird dynamic now.
It kind of is.
A weird dynamic.
I don't know. You know, I'm glad that they expanded it. I think that it was where it was going to eventually lead anyway. You know, the other divisions of college do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm all for more teams having a chance, I guess. And I always said whoever. Everybody's like, oh, there's the 14 playoff. Everybody that was number 5 was pissed off. Well, when you get to 12, guess who's going to be pissed? Number 13.
Yeah.
You're never going to fucking change it. I mean, you can go to as many teams as you want, and whoever's the first team out or the first couple out are going to have a legit case to say, why am I not in there? So, and as much as I love SMU, I've been talking about them all year. I predicted that they would get in the playoffs within 2 years.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would be happening in the first, but the reality is they haven't beat a single top 25 team. So if you're really talking the 12 best teams, I can't look at you and say that SMU is better than Alabama. I feel like they maybe are like right now today, and if they win the ACC, obviously they get the automatic bid. There's no question. But if they lose, they'll have 2 losses. One was to BYU on the road early in the year, and I'll never forget that because I bet them that night. We were in Ann Arbor for the weekend for the Texas game.
Yeah.
So they cost me my parlay. But early, at least, they had Friday and Saturday games. They lost on Friday night, so at least I got right away. But anyway, I think that SMU is definitely going to be deserving to go, obviously, if they get the automatic bid. But if they have 2 losses, a 3-loss Alabama is still – they're a better football team than SMU, and I think we're on a neutral field.
I'm on the other side of like letting in 3-loss teams. I don't care how. I mean, I get it. You have to. They probably are better teams, but it just like also makes me upset. Like, give someone else a chance. I feel like, but I understand. It is you are the best team. If you think that they are, then they are. I mean, it's just. It's like a
do you think it's
show.
more
It's ratings. It's all ratings. That's what they want, of course. So I get it. But
do you think it's more? There's more parity now. Or for me, I just feel like there's not that. The one thing I thought about with them going to a 12-team playoff, I was okay with 4 teams because I felt like for several years there really was only 3 or 4 teams that legitimately could win the national championship.
Yeah.
And usually it was Georgia, Alabama, and then somebody else.
Right.
State would pop up, Michigan the last couple of years. And every year, like, it always seemed like there was some weird 4th team. Cincinnati.
Yeah, they get all undefeated season.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, that's nice. And then they get their ass kicked.
Yeah,
and I feel like that's what's going to maybe happen with some of these other teams.
Right.
I think whoever wins the Big 12, although Arizona State's playing good football.
Dude, they are on top of it.
Yeah, they get the right matchup. They could win a game.
Yeah.
But I would not be surprised if the Big 12 is 1 out. Very easily, Boise State could be in that conversation.
Yeah.
SMU, we won't know until they get in there. But I also feel like there's not, Georgia's not as good as they usually are. Alabama's not as good as they usually are. obviously Ohio State's vulnerable.
Yeah,
So Oregon is undefeated. To me, they're the clear number one right now. They've got the wins to prove it and back it up. But they also beat Boise by 3.
Yeah.
Early in the year, they struggled with Idaho opening week. Struggled with Wisconsin. Everybody's beatable. I mean, like that's why I'm almost frustrated that Michigan had a bad year. I'm like, shit.
Like we could actually maybe, yeah.
Although, I mean, the reality is we didn't have a quarterback. Didn't have a quarterback all year.
Yeah,
so,
right.
We made our season. We definitely made our season on time.
God, I don't care what else happens. Yeah, I don't need anything else.
We've got a hell of a class coming in.
We are 6 now. We were 9th 2 weeks ago, and then signing day happened 2 days ago. We got that linebacker, that 4-star linebacker. We picked him up. We just got him, and he signed that day.
Yeah.
Dude, like, we are the 6th best recruiting class. And I'll get into that with the preview.
Yeah,
but Sharon Moore, dude, I will not say anything back.
There you go. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for taking it back.
Because I took everything back. Yeah.
Gotta give him time.
Gotta give him time.
I do think that, I want to briefly touch about that recruiting. I've never never really followed it. Maybe it's because our team was never one of the top classes. We always hear about Ohio State got this great class coming in, Georgia's got this great class coming in. You always hear that, and for the most part, those teams are always consistent and they're in the top. But with the fucking transfer portal, players are leaving. I just don't. Whoever's on the fucking field on Saturday, that's who I'm gonna root for.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit if he's a 3-star, 2-star, 5-star, a fucking walk-on. It doesn't matter to me. Like, I'm excited because we've never had this high of a recruit before. So, or a class for that matter.
Yeah,
so,
really,
I'm excited for that part of it, but I'm also like, we should prove it. Like, you're going to have to show me on the field. Like, I am not going to get caught up in that because to me, that's what the Ohio State fans do. And they did it this past year. Oh, we won the offseason. We spent all this fucking money. We got all these players, blah, blah, blah. And you lost to a 5-loss Michigan team with no quarterback. So that's what I mean. Like the results.
Yes. I get that part. Yeah,
and maybe they still win the national championship, and then great. Okay, you won the fucking offseason. Yeah, congratulations. So, and they still might. They still might. And I don't know how I feel about that. So I'm glad that we won. At least we can hang our hat on that. If they win it, wow, you did it. Still couldn't beat us.
Yeah.
But I just don't want to win it. We just won it last year.
We just won it. Yeah.
Give up. Not that we have to hand them the trophy. This isn't the Masters. We don't have to put the fucking
green jacket on. Yeah.
But I don't want to relinquish it to them. So I'll definitely be rooting against them. I know they're the conference and all that, but it's different now. Like bowl season is different to root for a conference.
Yeah.
Like, I hope Northwestern or I hope Rutgers wins the Music City Bowl. Great. Yeah, I'll root for the conference there.
Yeah.
And when Ohio State's in a shitty bowl game, sure, I don't care.
Yeah,
but
especially when
the playoffs, I don't want them to win it.
Yeah,
I just don't.
Well, they put up that the scoring, or like they put up the rankings of like each conference. You want Big Ten to do good. You want whoever to do good, and it just keeps going that way. But it's just the recruiting thing. Going back to it though, we've always had the coaching, but never the class. Can you imagine the class? Like, I know Jim Harbaugh's not here, but man, Sharon put together a day. Yeah. And I know we'll get into all of it, but we will take everything back. I take everything back. So,
good.
Yeah.
The upsets, we both did really well on that. So Syracuse, you were getting 11.5. Miami had a 21-0 lead, and so I'm glad I'm not a U fan. I mean
they're so bad
that you're gonna obviously Miami wins that game. They're in the ACC championship.
Yeah.
Against SMU, which I think the way Miami's built, I think they could have won that game.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at a playoff spot, right?
Right. And now you're outside looking in.
And I would say you need help to get in. What kind of help?
You need everyone to upset. You need a lot of upset.
But I don't know. Right. I think most of especially in the Big Ten and the SEC, I think both the teams that are in those games, they're all in.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if they lose, how they lose, nothing. I feel like it's established those are the two best conferences, and if you're in the championship game, you are in the fucking playoffs.
Yeah.
Ohio State doesn't play, Indiana doesn't play, Tennessee doesn't play. Those teams they're not gonna leave.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just don't see a window for Miami to get in. If Miami would have been ranked higher than Bama coming in,
that could have helped.
Sure.
Yeah.
But they're on the outside looking in, and they deserve it. We talked about SMU not having a ranked win. Neither does Miami.
Crazy. That's crazy. I will say, like, Mario Cristobal, I was just going to kind of praise him for a second. He has really put Miami back on the map from when they weren't on the map. but they still can't. Like you said, they can't win. They haven't had a top 25 win. They can't do it. So
and they didn't have a defense for it. I mean, as a viewer, and since our team isn't going to be in it, just from a viewership standpoint, I would have loved to see Cam Ward play.
I know,
but
he's going to be a very high draft pick for sure. So I think,
So you scored 5 points there. Syracuse was at home, so you didn't get the extra 2.
Oh, that sucks.
But boy, did I max out my fucking career.
Yeah, you did.
The Michigan Wolverines went into Columbus and got the dub.
Yeah.
So I get 7 points for that. So we both end up with 10 points from the college day. And we'll go through the NFL when we get to that part and let you know where our updated standings are. So some other college games for excited. By the way, the Lions took the opening drive, 11 plays, 70 yards, and they're on the board first. David Montgomery touchdown. Talk about a guarantee.
Yeah, really.
Bet for you right
Anytime
there.
touchdown.
Anytime touchdown from Montgomery. If you bet that, you got it out of the way.
Well, if you got first touchdown, really.
Right. So where do you want to start with?
Yeah,
the rest of the Saturday slate. I don't think there was. There was a couple games, obviously. Black Friday, we were on the air for Black Friday during the Chiefs game, and so there were a couple games that night I forgot about.
Which I think we talked or covered.
We covered Colorado, I believe.
Georgia Tech. 8 overtime.
Oh, I forgot what they get.
What a way for, Georgia. I don't know. I don't know. You don't know about any of these teams.
Yeah, we talked about that. Boy, if Georgia Tech would have won that game.
Yeah.
This playoff bracket would have looked so much different.
Man, that is insane. I couldn't believe that.
Because Bama, again, Bama right now, we're talking about Alabama as being the last team in right now. If Georgia loses that game, Bama beat them. So does that mean Georgia would have slid all the way out? I guess so.
Yeah.
And maybe I still think they were ahead of. I think they still would have been ahead of Miami, because Miami also lost to Georgia Tech. So you can't really.
But Georgia beat Texas, and that is what I'm throwing on top of everyone's head. The weight of that game, the way they handled that.
That's why I'm telling you, when we get to the playoff, you're going to see the SEC rise up. They're going to be battle tested.
Oh man,
man.
Yeah. None of them look scary. None of them look like, I don't
know. They don't. But it's gonna be wide open.
It's gonna be crazy.
That part of it makes it exciting.
Yeah.
That it is very wide open. Like I said at the beginning, the last couple of years, I always felt like there was only 3 or 4 teams that legitimately can win the national championship, and that was my worry about the playoff. I'm like, okay, that's great. You're gonna have all these extra teams.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I still think the cream's gonna rise to the top. This year, I really don't know. I'm next week we'll be giving our picks, and I'll feel good about. I feel like most of them. Like once I really
see how these teams go
this weekend, and see where the seeding goes,
right?
Because it doesn't get reseeded, right?
No.
Okay.
It should not.
I don't think it's gonna. I think it is a full bracket.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm gonna need to see. I need to see that. I'll give a prediction, and go from there. But.
I
still think there's going to be at least 2 SEC teams in the Final
Four,
and possibly the national championship game. But
yeah, they're just because they're going to beat. First. Yeah, if Texas loses, I'm done. I'm just thinking right now. If Texas loses, Texas gets in, Georgia gets in, Alabama gets in, or does Miami? No. Miami needs a lot.
You're still thinking?
I'm still thinking about. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Need a lot to happen.
Wait, South Carolina's out there trying to make an argument. They've got some good wins. They beat Georgia.
And they beat Clemson. South Carolina. Yeah.
And Clemson may end up being the ACC champion. So,
it's
so...
That is so crazy.
And now, you know what it's going to do? You know what exactly it's going to do? Even though haven't even finished the first year of this 12-team playoff.
Right.
Everybody's going to clamor for 16 now. That's going to do that.
God, I can't imagine.
They're getting to 32. The FCS and Division 2s and all the Division 2, that's 32 teams. But
yeah.
It is what other divisions do. So I feel like that's where we're headed.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? They like to give the buys, but
yeah. Can you imagine around to 64 for football?
No, we can't do that.
That would be crazy.
It would be crazy. You'd have to cut out at least 2, maybe 3 regular season games.
Yeah, they would.
And is that enough to judge?
I don't think you can't. The same landscape too with basketball. You can't replicate what they do in March. You can't. But you start getting to 16, what's next? 20? What's next? 24? Like, you just keep going up. Like, I don't know where the cap is going to be on this. It's just, and especially going from 4 to 12 and not 4 to 8, 4 to 6, 4 to whatever, I guess. Yeah, so, I don't know.
I'm going to play a little game with you when we get to the picks for the conference championship.
Yeah.
I have a good feeling what most of the winners that you're going to pick are.
Okay.
And then I'm going to point out something to you. So, I can't wait to get there. So, okay. So Georgia Tech, Georgia, yeah. I mean, so this was another classic game. Was
oh my God.
I was tired.
Yeah.
I was caught up to live. I went to bed. I went to bed with 2 minutes to go.
Ooh.
2 minute warning right after Georgia Tech fumbled.
Yeah.
Georgia got the ball back. They were down, I believe, 7.
Yes.
So I went to bed. 2 minutes to go. I was live, but I knew, okay, there's 2 minutes to go. 7-point game. We got a possibility for overtime. I was dog tired. Didn't want to sit through the commercials. I'm like, I'm going to record it, watch it in the morning.
Yeah.
It took 1 hour and 15 minutes of the recording to get the last 2 minutes and all 8 overtimes. An hour and 15 minutes. So am I super glad that I went to fucking bed?
Yes.
Now, it only took me probably less than a half
4
hour
minutes
to watch those, you know,
yeah.
with the commercials and all the shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if I love the 2 minute or the not 2 minute.
You 2-point conversion.
2-point conversion.
Yeah.
I just feel like it ruins it.
It does.
I remember the Illinois Penn State game from a couple of years ago. It went 9 times.
Yeah.
It's so gimmicky. It's like watching a shootout in hockey.
That's what they're trying to replicate.
I feel empty.
That's what they're trying. Yeah.
I feel empty. I mean, what's even wrong? I'm not even sure I like the 25-yard line. I've always said that to me it needs to be like the 40. Like, make them get a fucking first down before they're in field goal range.
Yeah.
You know, that's my opinion. I feel like you got to try a little bit. I'm good with both teams getting the ball, having a chance like that. I'm all for that.
Yeah.
And I get it. Player safety. How long is the game going to last? But you can almost argue that the game lasts fucking longer.
Yeah.
Because of all these plays.
For all the plays.
You know, all these like it was unbelievable. So.
Good point. Yeah. It really does. I feel like it does take away from a lot of that. Yeah, you're right. Like they are. I mean, they definitely are trying to replicate what a shootout would be. Yeah. Very awesome, entertaining when you're watching hockey. They get to go to a shootout, but like, I don't know if they got it. I don't know. It takes away from a lot. Yeah, but
boy, Georgia Tech. You can't help but love them. Their coach, very emotional after the game.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure he was emotionally drained. Would have been a huge signature win. Would have been a hell of a year too for them. I mean, what
a year already it feels. I mean, I know Florida State wasn't.
Florida State was bad, but nobody knew that.
No.
It won. You travel over to Ireland. You pull that game out. Florida State was ranked 6th, I think.
Yeah.
What does that look? And that's a big case for why I hate fucking rankings at the beginning of the year. You're talking about a team that was ranked number 6
preseason polls are
in the country.
Awful.
That finished fucking 2-10.
Yeah.
And you had them 6. I mean, that's what I'm talking about.
It is gross.
It's retarded. So, like,
yeah.
Four fucking games into the year, let's rank people.
Yeah.
That to me, that's what you need to do. So, I'm just not a big fan of preseason ranking. Never happened.
Yeah.
Iowa, Nebraska, it was an Iowa game, right? 13-10. Pretty boring. A lot of punts. So, typical Iowa football.
Yeah.
I got nothing else to say about that. What else we got from? I guess that was pretty much it on Friday. So
yeah, Saturday
slate. Army held on.
Yeah.
UTEX San Antonio. We talked a little bit South Carolina Clemson. Nice comeback for them too.
Huge.
Late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, huge win for South Carolina too. That was a great time.
Yeah, they're back, and I tell you what, they stumbled out of the gate. If they would have started the season a little bit better,
oh man,
they'd have been locked.
No question. Yeah, no question.
So they're definitely on the upswing. Tennessee beat Vanderbilt 36-23.
Yeah.
So Tennessee looks to be pretty safe as of right now. They would be a matchup in Columbus. Boy,
that's crazy.
That's the type of game like whoever would you tell me whoever's home for that game. That's the winner.
That's the winner.
Yeah. So we'll see if that matchup stays. I don't think it will because I'm pretty sure Penn State's going to lose to Oregon.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to kind of flip-flop a little bit down the road. So I think Ohio State will end up moving up. Tennessee may move up.
Yeah.
And move up out of that matchup. So number 23, Illinois, was down number 21. They went on the road, beat Northwestern. Not convincingly, but I didn't watch that game because obviously it was on the same time.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you right now. I forgot to watch a lot of football on Saturday because the game was on noon. Yeah. Like after the afternoon games, I watched, but didn't. I was so glued.
So when the Michigan game ended, I turned on the Pitt BC game only because I think it had started at like kind of a weird hour, like 2:30, 3 o'clock or something.
Yeah.
So they were almost like to halftime, and everything else was just kind of starting. So I didn't know really where to go, and there wasn't any 3:30 game that I really cared about.
Yeah.
And I was just on such a high, and
oh my
getting
God,
a bunch of text messages.
Yeah.
Looking on social media and finding all these memes and just needling people, right?
Yeah.
Like needling, and again, needling people that were fucking with me the entire season.
Year. Yeah.
Okay? This entire year, because, and even I was convinced that, yeah, we're probably going to get boat race.
Yes.
But it didn't happen, so I was paying everybody back.
Yeah.
So I had it on Pitt BC, wasn't paying attention. So like, there's a lot of football that I just didn't watch. I got back into it by the time we got to the nighttime.
Yes.
I might be able to talk about some of this. Yeah, Pitt. Oh man, do I love that Pitt
loses.
Fell off the face of it.
They did. I took them for a lot of this year, and they kept losing. Just keep on losing. It's too bad.
Now they're still gonna be in a bowl game, and we make fun of it, and there's a slight possibility
we could play them.
There's been a rumor that we could be playing them in the pinstripe. I think we're gonna move up now though. With our win, I wouldn't be surprised if we play on New Year's Eve now. So I do think that we probably avoid them at this point, but I wouldn't be that confident only because it's, again, bowl years. It's like it's a new year.
Yeah.
You know, there's going to be so many weeks in between that, you know, facing a team that's on a slump doesn't necessarily equal a W for sure. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens. Mac Brown, man, I can't believe.
Oh, I had that. I took that game. I bet that game heavy.
Yeah, I mean, they already go to a bowl game. They're 6-6, but
yeah, I really thought. I mean, I think they covered. No, I didn't. No, they didn't. They didn't cover spread. I had a money line and spread, and it just didn't.
Well, they were favored. Carolina was favored.
Yeah. I just thought like final game, these guys are gonna play for them, all that stuff.
Yeah,
so didn't happen.
We talked Miami blowing a 21-0 lead. That was the other thing that actually kind of warmed my heart. Was, you know, the day that Ohio State loses, Kyle McCord goes and upsets.
Oh, it was the best day ever. And he was playing. He was taking shots, dude. He was taking shots.
If you looked at their stats, Kyle, I mean,
they weren't separable. It wasn't him.
At the end of the day.
I tell yeah.
Which I kind of thought that beginning, you know, when he got Will Howard, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
He just didn't. I would have been more scared if Ohio State would have got fucking Cam Ward.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a rumor at one point, and
if they would have got him,
a totally different ballgame.
Yeah, that's scary to think about.
Mm-hmm.
That really is.
I'm glad it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Alabama won by 2 touchdowns. They won pretty comfortably against Auburn.
Yeah.
So Auburn does not make a bowl game. Missouri held on against Arkansas. We talked about SMU. And I tell you what, SMU doesn't have a signature win this year, but similar to Indiana, like they're blowing people out when they are getting W's.
Yeah.
So that's got to be something to be said for that. Arizona State, man, that's another one. They are just fucking rolling right now. I think Iowa State's in trouble.
Yeah. Like, this is going to be fun weekend for those games like that. Like, especially the guys, the people that are rolling right now, it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Arizona State's going to be a scary
another one. Yeah, like, I don't know.
Again, they got to get the right matchup, I think. But I was way wrong on Michigan State. Not that I was rooting for them. I really thought that they would get up for that game. It meant bowl eligibility, and Rutgers just kicked their ass.
Dude, yeah.
Which I'm happy about. Good. Fuck them. Sparty's out of a bowl game. So, I mean, it was just a great Saturday. It's a great Saturday.
Yeah.
Penn State blew out Maryland. They stumbled out of the gate. They actually opened.
They did.
Fumbled open kickoff. Maryland scored on the first play, and I thought, oh my God. Like,
can you imagine?
You've got the Big Ten championship in your lap, and that's how you start the game. But then, they woke up and they blew out Maryland. So,
yeah.
Another one that I was wrong on. I believe I thought Maryland was good. I mean, I'm a big disbeliever in Penn State. Maybe they proved me wrong. Maybe they're going to beat Oregon Saturday. I don't know. I just don't think they'll win a game the rest of the year.
You're right.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're out.
No, I think that there's no way. Wait, did they get in even though they?
I think they're in either way. I think they're in either way. They're in the Big Ten championship game. Like, I just don't think you're going to keep them.
Yeah, I guess it means more. I guess it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if there are only 2 losses, they're going to be Ohio State and Oregon. I just don't think you're going to.
No, yeah.
I just don't think you keep them out.
But they can win something first round if they get the right one.
Again, we're razzing SMU and Miami, no top 10 wins, or no top 25 wins. Penn State, same thing, though. They have Illinois, number 21, and they got them at home. So they just don't have a great win, in my opinion, either. So, but again, they got a shot. Maybe they beat Oregon. So, and then we all shut up, and they get a bye. Notre Dame, how about 2 100-yard interceptions?
Yeah.
One was technically 99, but they were 100 yards.
2 late interceptions can turn it around.
Turn it around. Yeah, if USC scores there instead of throwing 6s, they upset them.
Like, what a game that ended up being for USC. Like, and they always come and play that. It's a good game for those 2 schools. So, like, I thought it was amazing to watch. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of the rumors that Miller Moss could end up in Michigan? He's officially in the transfer.
He is officially in?
Yeah. Although it does sound like the plan is going to be Underwood getting playing time his freshman year. But do you do it?
We still have Jaden Davis too, though.
I know. So I mean,
it's scaring me that
for now. I'm a little scared that
he might.
Brady Hart already flipped to A&M. But
yeah.
I mean this is why I don't really get too excited about this shit. Like, okay,
they can leave anytime.
They can leave anytime.
Yeah.
I was excited about the prospects of Brady Hart, maybe mostly because of his name.
Right.
It's got good vibes, for a Michigan boy. So, and then
I understand.
He's not even going to take a snap.
Yeah.
For us, so it's like, why?
I can understand how that big of a recruit come in and then
sure,
you know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
That's the downside to getting some of these guys. So you got to really hope it pans out at that point.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, the only thing that scares me is typically, you can razz Lincoln Riley all you want. Is he a good coach? Is he not? The fucker is a quarterback whisperer, though.
He is.
So, and he didn't exactly light the world on fire, and Lincoln has coached a lot of Heisman Trophy winners. So,
yeah,
how come you couldn't figure it out? What's wrong? So, he'd almost be in like that Will Howard category for me. I wouldn't be excited. I would have been excited to have him this year.
Yeah.
Because we had him for quarterback.
Right.
But I don't know, like now that we've got Underwood and maybe Jaden Davis can be him, I don't know. I would rather see what we have in our own quarterback room first, I guess. So, but yeah, he's like to win a game.
Yes.
Those pick sixes.
Yeah.
Just killers.
I think Riley's got to figure it out quick, because he's on the way out.
You're in a Big Ten.
Yes, yeah. And especially because of your caliber of your team, you should have had him better this year than he did before.
You had a better defense.
Yeah, you said you did at least. I guess.
Right. Well, I'd started even tailing off by the end of the year.
Yeah.
So, real quick before we move on here, the Packers
4th and 5.
These teams have exchanged punts since we've been talking, but Green Bay's got a 4th and 5 just across Detroit territory here. Under 4 minutes to go in the first. It's still 7-0 Lions. So I want to see if London and Green Bay can get this one out, or if they even are going to go for it.
They are. Oh, they're not.
I think they're taking the delay game.
Wow.
So they're going to punt.
They're going to punt.
I want to talk about this game just because it's going to be a rematch again this weekend. Jacksonville State and Western Kentucky down in Bowling Green. Western Kentucky held on for a 1917 win. I watched a little bit of this. I actually feel like Jacksonville State was holding back because they knew the scenario and the situation.
Really?
If they won, they kind of control it. I think teams do that. I think they knew, okay, if we win this game, we get Liberty. So Liberty underachieved. They were a team I picked to go to the playoff.
Yeah.
Because I really thought they could go undefeated like they did a couple years ago. Definitely underestimated Jacksonville State. We razz Rich Rod. We don't miss the Rich Rod years at Michigan.
Yeah.
But he is an innovative coach, and this is probably kind of a perfect spot for him.
Yeah.
Not a lot of pressure. In a smaller conference, and he's doing very well there. So
he is.
He had that wrapped up. I think Liberty is probably a better team than Western Kentucky, even though again.
I mean, it makes sense if they were. I didn't even have my eyes on this game, but if you're, I understand what you're saying. Like, they could definitely
it
have.
Looked like Western Kentucky was putting in more effort because they needed to win that game.
Yeah.
To get a rematch. Now the Jacksonville State gets them at home.
Like, what do you say in the locker room at half? Like,
I don't know.
Okay, we're gonna lose. we're gonna lose.
I don't know.
Because that was a 2-point game. It gets really interesting. It gets really interesting what you say.
And you got to be careful what you look
how you
for.
say it. Right.
It's possible Western Kentucky goes in there and beats their ass now. But yeah,
that's definitely a team you want to play over Liberty. I think, right? Like, they definitely over Liberty. Like, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'm probably going to take Jacksonville State. I think they did. I definitely think they held back.
Man.
Which, again, I feel like someday we're going to have a Michigan-Ohio State game where that happens. Where we know we're going to see you next week.
Yeah.
And that regular season game is going to be a dog. Like, it's not,
this is what you're building.
And you almost want to lose that game. Just because, think about all the Ohio State fans that were so confident and feeling like, okay, we get another shot at Oregon, we're going to fucking win. And you forgot to beat us.
Forgot to beat us.
And I kind of agreed with them. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't. And now when I'm like, now there's a conspiracy theory out there that Ohio State lost this game on purpose.
Oh,
because they didn't want to play Oregon a third time in a playoff. When they play them again, I'm like, wow, you're that convinced.
That's crazy.
Gonna play them.
That is crazy.
That's
no way.
Bullshit. But Wyoming, how about Wyoming going into Wazoo and winning 15-14? I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So it's only got 3 wins on the year, but again,
what a win for them. Yeah. Plus 17 on that. Damn.
I was disappointed in Oklahoma. They got spanked by LSU. How about Brian Kelly bitching about? And again, a lot of these old-time coaches, which is why some of them are leaving, are pissed about NIL. I'm not a fan of it either.
No.
But we need to embrace it, right? If we're going to compete, it's what it is.
He's going to be out the door soon.
But Kelly is bitching about the money.
Yeah.
You're talking about a coach that left Central Michigan before bowl game to go get Cincinnati's job. Leads Cincinnati to an undefeated season. Skips the fucking bowl game to go to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Gets to Notre Dame. Has up and down years, which
you can't do anything about.
Coach is doing anyway.
Yeah.
And what's he do? Leaves to go get more money at LSU. So I don't want to fucking hear the high road from Brian Kelly right now.
Right.
Fuck you. We outbid you. I don't know what to
do. So, it's so interesting his tenure, his way. Both Kellys.
Oh, yeah.
Both Kelly. Like, what? Like, they just can't. They have up and down years, can't win the whole thing. So, that's the name you bring in to win the whole thing, and they don't.
Right.
So.
How about Indiana winning 66? Again, Purdue probably.
They're so bad.
Purdue might be the worst Big Ten team since Northwestern in the 70s. I mean, they were fucking bad this year.
Yes, like truly bad. Yeah.
And of course,
we didn't get to play.
Michigan doesn't get
to play. We didn't get to play.
Of course they don't.
They're right.
Iowa State did beat Kansas State. I had Kansas State winning that game.
Oh, nice.
But Iowa State won it, took care of business, got in the Big 12 or the Big 12 championship.
Yeah.
Which I'm bummed about. I want to Colorado to somehow sneak in there.
That's too bad for Colorado. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. I got to admit, I didn't watch much of the Texas game. I forget what game I was on that night.
I think I was. I was in the second half. I was going to bed because this game looked like Texas was controlling, and you knew it, and they just weren't scoring. But
Texas had a pick six, a block punt.
Yes.
A&M did anyway. And A&M did not take the block punt and got any points from it. But I did see the end of that game. I remember what we were doing. We were actually watching Plains Trains on Automobile Saturday night. So I had to thank the family. The family, both the girls, Tanya, sat and watched that entire Michigan Ohio State game.
That's awesome.
Did not get up one time. So that made me feel good that we all got to enjoy it together as a family. So that was kind of my thank you to them that, okay, let's watch this movie.
Yeah.
But I did watch third and fourth quarters of most of the late games. Oregon blew out Washington, which we all figured.
Oregon, yeah.
Washington went winless on the road this year. Something Michigan did.
Oregon's going to lose, though, because, I don't think Oregon's going to win the whole thing. I know. I'm just going to say that out loud. Okay. I'm just going to say it right now on record.
I think they could, but
I think they have too much going for them. They need
to avoid Ohio State.
They do.
They do.
They do. But I think they have to avoid Georgia, too. And if Georgia wins and beats Texas, and they're in, well, you said they might be in anyway.
Yeah.
But just the ways that the Final Four can really map out is, I can see Oregon definitely going, but losing. Yeah.
UNLV blew out Nevada to secure their spot.
Yeah, UNLV.
We'll talk about that in the preview. They're ranked 20th, so we'll see what happens. BYU won, did not cover. I remember predicting
yes
by 1 point, but I
plus 13.
Yes. And the game actually was closer than that. BYU got a late touchdown, so Houston had hung around pretty much that whole game. And that looks like that's about it for the games that were worth talking about.
Yeah.
Are we ready for Andrew?
Yeah, let's bring him on. Andrew Kajawa, man, he's a good friend of the show, good friend of ours. It's gonna be a good time. We'll just jump right in with him.
Okay.
I think with the recap, we don't have to. We'll maybe after he's done.
If he's waiting around with us, we can elaborate on anything that he brings up, any points that he makes.
Yeah.
We'll kind of give our analysis of the game
and go from there. All right, cool. We'll call him in. I'm gonna call him right now.
Tyler making his first phone call.
Yeah, here we go.
This makes me think of Crank Yankers when I hear that dial tone. I love it. Somebody's not getting scared.
Hello.
Andrew.
What's going on?
What's up? You're on the Yins Betcha podcast. How are you, man?
I'm doing good, fellas. How are you?
Good. Can't complain. We called you on for a specific reason that you know of. We wanted to go ahead and recap with you. We haven't talked about it at all yet for the show, but I wanted to bring you on.
Oh, man,
sorry.
Sorry
about that. Yeah. What's that?
What game might that be?
Yeah. The game is Hate Week last week. Ohio State, Michigan. Michigan wins 13-10. How do you feel about that to start?
Very surprised and disappointed. Going into that game, obviously Ohio State had the far better team, not just better, but far better team on paper. Record. The quality of wins that they had. I mean, going into that game, Ohio State had three top 5 matchups.
You had one quality win.
Kevin said one.
Fuck Indiana. Don't give me Indiana.
Hey, at the time they played, they were ranked number 5.
Sure.
Go off.
They were.
You had 2 quality wins.
You have 3 top 5 matchups in a regular season. That's almost unheard of, before the postseason comes around.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was very. I mean, you saw me, Tyler. You.
Oh yeah, we were there.
Roller coaster of emotions, during that game. I was dumbfounded with the lack of wanting to move the ball down the field. It just didn't seem like the heart was left on the field like it should have after that game.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, I couldn't thank you enough. I went over to the house. He let me into his humble abode. And the lead with the win, dude. I couldn't. There's
one gutsy motherfucker. There ain't no way I'd have done it. Zero chance.
I was taking the bullet. I'm going to be honest with the listeners of the show. I did not think we would ever do what we did on Saturday. And to do it was just amazing. Just truly a movie. I can't. I'm still smiling. I can't.
So I heard Kajawa called off on Monday.
Yeah, did you call off on Monday?
Not really. I took the day off, yes, but for other reasons other than that. I wasn't going to hide.
Yeah.
Because I knew that this was coming, and I know that when I do see you Michigan people face to face,
oh yeah,
you're gonna catch me with egg on my face. So I completely understand. Going into that game, I remember talking to Kevin in the office a few weeks prior. I think it was before Michigan played Oregon, and we were kind of just shooting the BS back and forth, and he said that, just like you said, Tyler, you guys didn't stand a chance against Ohio State. And, when it comes to that game, it doesn't matter what the records are. You could be 0-11 versus 11-0.
Yeah.
And that game is, to a lot of people, that game is the quality of national championship game.
Yeah.
Right.
And, going into, or as that game went around, and obviously when the game starts 0-0, okay, and then, 2 picks per team, but neither team seemed to be able to move the ball at all. And,
Which was no surprise for us. I mean, we were used to that all the time.
We were used to it.
You guys didn't have an identity going into the game. You didn't have a good quarterback. You didn't have, the level of talent on the perimeter that, Ohio State had. No reason that game should have been, a 3-point deficit. Obviously, it went the wrong way in my opinion. But, Ohio State should have been a 3-score, which they were a 3-score favorite. But that's how the game should have went. But, that game, just like the Oregon game, back and forth. At halftime it was 10-10, and you have 2 quarters to play, and no points were scored until a minute was left in the game. And that level of competitiveness and physicality is what you want to see in a game like that. And then all the BS at the end of the game isn't really what you want.
No.
And I understand how. I guess I'm indifferent on it just because, Ohio State being kind of their pride just took a big hit, right? And then you have the rival coming to plant their flag, and they're not just going to let that happen.
No, I understand. I get that part. I mean, you do have to. I mean, and I said this to you on Saturday.
You just got your ass kicked around on it.
Yeah. I mean, I said the same thing to you on Saturday, though. I said, if you guys did it to us next year, I'm going to expect a planting of a flag. Yeah, and I mean, I'm going to.
Texas planted the flag on our field this year. They just did it this year. Texas did, and. Now, here's the thing. The one thing that I think Michigan did wrong was they did it too quick. They had done it 2 years prior because Trente is the one that did it. But it was well after most of the Ohio State players were in the locker room. They were singing Carmen, Ohio, which is a tradition. That is almost like Army and Navy going to sing the Alden Waters when the game's over. They did it entirely too fucking quick. They should have waited until your players were gone. I mean, at the end of the day, when you lose a game, that's usually what happens. You want to get the hell out of there. You don't want to hang around, So that's what that's where they fucked up. They did it too quick. There was too much emotion out there. Obviously, they were pissed. They were planning on winning that game. Hell, I was planning on winning that game.
Yeah.
So I get it. I understand, these guys, especially the seniors, are realizing, and I'm not trying to add salt to the wound, but they realized I'm walking off this field having never beaten fucking Michigan. They're going to leave college and know that they've never done it. So I can only imagine being in those shoes. But guess what? There was probably 600-700 Michigan players that also left the field 0-4 against Ohio State.
Yeah.
Over the last 20 years.
Oh, yes.
So, and I think if Khalil said one thing right in the postgame interview was they got to learn to lose, And this is what this rivalry is. I'm old enough to remember the 90s when Michigan dominated it, and 8 of those 10 years, Ohio State was the better team. They were ranked number 1 or number 2.
Yeah.
Michigan was coming in with 4, 5, 6 losses, and they were just the more physical team. And that's what happens in this rivalry. And I tried to explain this to Homer years ago. I'm once we got one and then got the second one on the road, I'm it's our turn. And I don't, and especially now after winning this one, I don't really know when you guys are going to beat us again. I'm not trying to be we're going to win 15 in a row, because I don't think that. But I do think we're probably back to being favored next year, maybe. I mean, even 3 out of these 4 years, we weren't even the favorite in this game.
Yes.
I do think we were the better team the last 3 years. And I agree with you, we were not the better team this year. If we had to play you guys again, to me, there's no way we'd win. But I think Michigan, the one undersung thing, you were talking about Ohio State's schedule a little bit, but with all due respect to Penn State and Indiana, and I know both teams are probably going to the playoff, and they both only have 1 loss right now, both to Ohio State. Although I think Penn State's going to lose to Oregon. They're both going to get to playoffs, but neither of those teams have really beaten anybody themselves.
No.
Meanwhile, Michigan lost to the number 1 team in the country and the number 2 team in the country in a totally different conference.
Yeah.
And they played Indiana when they were ranked 5, and played Ohio State when they were ranked 2. So I think Michigan, is as bad of a year as they had with no quarterback, they were also battle tested.
Yeah.
And our defensive line is one of the best in the country. And Graham and Grant, they're going to be top 10 picks,
Graham,
man.
maybe.
Those 2 guys are going to be top 10 picks. So the fact that Day thought he could just run up the middle, and maybe it was Chip.
Also, I kind of wanted to touch on that part. I think what I wanted to say about the running, the 2 times you run twice, throw it on 3rd down, and you get 16 yards. I still think Ryan Day is thinking about Jim Harbaugh, and he said born on 3rd base, all the stuff he said.
Yep.
But he wanted to run between the tackles and the guards, and Ryan Day was still thinking about that, and it's not. It is not happening. It just didn't happen. And Ryan Day wanted to prove him wrong, and he couldn't do it.
You know, when you're clearly in all aspects of the game, you have the opponent outmatched. You have to use their weaknesses against them. And it seemed like Ohio State was using Michigan's only strength in that game against themselves. You know, you throw because you can and not because you have to. And that's, you know, when you come out, their first drive, they threw, you know, on 1st down and they got 15. Then they threw again on 1st down or 2nd down and they got 20. And they moved the ball. And then they ran the ball 3 times and had the punt.
Yep.
So I don't understand why, when Michigan had such a great defensive line, why you continuously tried to attack it when you threw the ball down the field 2 times and you got pass interference calls called on their DBs twice.
True.
Keep doing that. It's working.
So the one thing, and I'm totally with you. I was saying it at halftime. My daughters and my wife were watching the game with me, which was a first from a television viewing standpoint. They sat and watched the entire game, and I kept waiting for it. I'm like, okay, this is great. We're in it. At least we're not getting boat raced. But when we went to the halftime, I'm like, they might still cover. I'm like, they're gonna throw the ball. They're gonna figure it out, and they just didn't. And I'm like, how the fuck do you? This is so simple. Everybody knew it. The analysts knew it. Like, I mean, how do you screw this up? And then on Tuesday, I watched some video, and I'm not the type. I don't like when I watch a game. I don't really break down like what the defense is doing and who's in motion, and I really just watch the play. You know what I mean? I don't really pay attention to, you know, coverages and disguises and all this shit.
Yeah.
And they made a really good point that Wink Martindale actually had some disguises with blitzes that we hadn't done all year. And they actually showed it in the video and it was actually very similar. I've been watching the Vikings very loyally this year, and we're doing the same thing with Flores' defense. We're disguising shit, and it's confusing quarterbacks, and they're audibling out of shit because they think that we're coming, and then they all of a sudden they switch over to cover 2.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, shit, I could have thrown a ball. So that's actually part of what was happening a little bit was they were disguising it and making it look like, okay, they're gonna double team our guys, and we'll be able to go right up the middle on them. And it didn't happen. So, all you really had to do was get off the perimeter, throw the football, and you probably...
Because our secondary was not it. Yeah, we just didn't have it this year.
Backups in there. Yeah. I mean, we didn't even have our best defensive back, our best only offensive weapon
was Colston Loveland. Yeah, was out.
It just, I can't believe they won that game.
Yeah, I was scared to see what the score would have been if you had those 2 guys.
If Will Johnson was in,
Will hadn't played since fucking week 3. Anyway.
Yeah, I was really hoping he'd come back for that game, and he did. But it was fine. It worked out. Okay, yeah. So, what do you think the next time you'll beat us is next year? Because I don't know, dude. I don't know. We're getting older now.
And I got to say this. I will never forget when again the rivalry was the other way in 2000.
Oh my God.
There was only 1 year where I actually went into the game and felt like, okay, I think we're going to win this one. And that was 2016 when I'm still telling you 8 years later, fucking JT was short. He was short. So, and that was it. And that's why I remember thinking coming out of that game, like, Jesus Christ, like if we can't fucking win this one.
Yeah.
And again, that one was on the road. Still would have been a tough circumstance. I believe we were an underdog still. But I felt like, man, we're the better team.
That year, we were the better team. And I said it last week, too. I said, like, this is the revenge game of that game of him being short.
Yeah.
And it was. And we actually did not deserve, we did not have any, like, I thought any chance going in there and winning. But then, like, Ohio State had it back in 2016. Like, I thought we were the better team, truly on paper. And now it kind of flipped there, too. But I will say this, too. Back in 2020, I did tell one of my friends, I said, things are changing around here.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know we didn't play you because we were sick or whatever, and I know people say a lot about that. But things definitely shifted.
Yeah.
And you felt it.
And let me tell you, like, you know, a lot of you Ohio State fans are blaming Day, and yes, there's a lot of blame to be done for that. But I do want you to keep in mind that Harbaugh was 0-5 against Ohio State.
Yeah.
Before they turn it around, right? So I do think you should give them some patience. The fact is, you guys still could win the national championship.
It is crazy.
And when the bracket comes out, depending on the matchups, I may end up picking them to go pretty far.
Yeah.
So I think that you need to, like, that the big picture for me, like they were showing interviews of people. They were saying, what would you rather have? Would you rather have Ohio State beat Michigan or win the national championship this year? And people were saying beat Michigan. I'm like, are you fucking crazy? Like,
that's all that matters, though.
As much as I hate Ohio State,
yeah,
I would rather win than fucking national championship. Like, I don't give a shit that I lost this regular season game. Like, it's so weird how obsessed they are more than we are obsessed with them. So I'm hoping that this loss will humble some of them. Some of them, right?
Yeah.
Like, just don't count your chickens until it happens. The one thing that I will tell you to listen to when you listen back to this podcast, we were talking about recruiting, okay? Mm-hmm. And this is the first year that either of us can remember that Michigan, we're excited. I mean, we got the number 1 recruit with Underwood, which was huge for us since we don't have a quarterback. We're number 6 overall, which, again, I know Ohio State's always in the top 5 or whatever, but that's really, really high for us.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to get excited about it because at the end of the day, half these fucking players aren't going to finish their career at Michigan because they're going to transfer portal and do all that other shit. I don't care. Like, I can be excited about it, but to me, the results on the field, that's the only thing I care about. Because as good as Michigan was, you know, I know you can talk about the Connor Stallion shit, but the fact is they were talented. They had 18 fucking guys drafted last year.
Yeah.
And guess what? Not a single one of them was a 4 or 5 star coming out of high school. None of them.
Yeah, you did produce.
These are 3 stars at most, you know. And again, we didn't have a quarterback this year. The guy that just beat Ohio State was a fucking walk-on. So, like, I'm not going to – I just don't care. Like, I just want a result on the field. I don't care where they came from, what high school they were at, what star they were. Just win for my team.
Yeah.
That's all I care about.
Yeah.
So, I hope it humbles some of them, but I doubt it will all of them. So, yeah, we'll see.
You can be king of the hill in high school, but going from high school to college is a completely different game. So you could, you know, run the table in your high school career, you know, at you know, whatever division you're in, you know, get full ride to Michigan like the Underwood guy is, or any other college.
Yeah.
But when you come to college and play college football, the speed of the game alone is enough to scare a lot of people away. And, you know, it's enough to make them play scared. And, you know, as you guys saying, the only thing that matters is the results on the field. And to Kevin's point, the transfer portal, half of the guys that start there aren't going to finish there. I just read an article about 5 players over the last 3 or 4 days are leaving Ohio State for their last year of playing. And a lot of them were receivers. Well, as Ohio State is referred to as Receiver U, there's a reason that they're not playing. I didn't even know some of the guys' names that said they were leaving. Mm-hmm. Because you have Olave, you have Marvin Harrison Jr.,
over the years,
Chris Olave, over the last 4 years, because they said that they came in 2021. Well, no shit, you're not going to play over those guys.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they should have left a year earlier and had a couple more years to make their name known.
Right. That's what it's funny.
You had said something that back in 2020, you said things are changing. Well, 2 words come to mind when the things are changing, and that is Connor Stallion.
Well, there is truth to that. He is a borderline genius.
Yeah, there was some truth to that. What you say? Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You need to go find yourself a Connor Stallion fan. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I will to this day. My aunt is a Michigan fan, and I don't know why, but she is. So, we had a family event a few months ago, and I was talking to her, and I was completely honest with her, and I said, honestly, I don't truly understand why what he did was so illegal. He just figured out a way to do it better than anybody else at a level that was unmatched because of his military background and what he did for the military. That it worked out in their favor, and people weren't liking it probably because they couldn't figure out how the hell to do it the way he was doing it. And
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And
because everybody was doing it, which is why teams have 3 or 4 different quarterbacks giving signs, and half of them are dummy signals, and they're concealing it and doing all this, and this is why they should have went to a calm system way before this anyway.
Yeah.
And the NFL's been
They finally did.
And
now.
they did this year.
Yeah, they did this year.
Yeah. So I just don't understand why that never happened. Granted, he did do some stupid things with, having the Venmo transactions and shit out in public. Like it was almost like they.
I don't know why he did
that.
I don't know why
dumb,
he did that.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, yeah, he is just a borderline genius, and can decipher codes. I mean, like you said, he did it for the fucking military. So, he's. It's not going to be the last you hear of him either. That's for sure. But there's one thing I do want to leave you with. It talks a little bit about transfer portal. So from the 2021 Ohio State recruiting class, there is actually one guy that's going to leave his college career with a victory over Michigan, and that's Quinn Ewers, because he was at Texas.
Oh my God!
Nobody else is leaving Ohio
Wow, that's crazy.
He's going to graduate with a win over Michigan, except for the guy that left.
Who's he play for now?
Texas.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. So
Texas is doing pretty good.
Yeah. What? So who do you think is next for the head coaching job? I heard Vrabel. I've heard some other people, but I mean, Kevin was Kevin.
This guy out of town already.
No, I know, but like you
title.
said, that's exactly what I wanted to bring back up. Though I said, when I told myself in 2020, I said, if not Jim, then who? So it maybe is Ryan Day. If not Ryan, then who? But I also think like they just. I don't think Ohio State has time to wait. I don't think they ever do. So, do you think that he's going to be gone next year no matter what happens this postseason?
I think that if he doesn't make it to the national championship, because the whole thing about him was he can't win the big games, right?
Yeah.
And yes, he won at Penn State in a top 5 matchup
against a guy who can't win a big game either.
Number 5.
Yeah.
I don't think Indiana should have been ranked number 5 when they played them, and the score definitely says that.
Mm-hmm.
But can he win these playoff games? And yeah, you're not going to be playing like if Ohio State somehow matches up against Arizona State. That's number 5 versus number 12. That's not. It's still a playoff game, and it's a big game. And Ryan Day hasn't been able to do that, I believe, since 2020 when they beat Clemson in the rematch game.
Yeah.
And can he win the big games? And I think that's going to be the true test. Now, I don't think he has to win the national championship to stay, but I think if he loses, especially if Ohio State has a home playoff game, no matter the opponent, Tennessee, Arizona State, whatever it may be, if he doesn't win that first game, I think he's got to be gone this year.
I agree.
To which I would like to see Mike Vrabel honestly take the position.
Man, I don't like Ohio State, of course, as everyone. I mean, I'm a Michigan fan, but like Vrabel, I love him as a coach.
Yeah,
I do.
I actually
He's
like
a
him.
great coach.
Yeah, he is.
I think the rumor I'm hearing is that he is not interested, but I don't know if that has weight to it.
Okay.
But it would give if I was a Buckeye fan, the vibe of Harbaugh being a Michigan man, that would give me a good vibe. Okay, we got a real Buckeye. Like, what about Hartline then? Like, if Hartline steps in, I mean, obviously he's a state guy. I don't know if that excites you, but
is he ready to be the head coach?
Right.
Yeah, that's a good question. But I also
nobody knew who Day was either, though.
Haven't shit the bed too soon.
Yeah. I hear rumblings now though too of Urban coming back. And how aggressive he is, I don't want that happening either. So
I would be scared as a
Michigan
fan.
He put that to bed today. Said that he in no way, shape, or form is interested in coaching again.
Okay.
So
yeah,
he put that out there. He's happy with what he's doing. He does not want to coach again. He will support Ryan Day and his staff and anyone who wears scarlet and gray. But he is not interested whatsoever in coaching football again.
Yeah, that's good because we can't seem to beat him anyway. So yeah. Oh man.
There was a rumor going around that they were going to let Day go now and let Urban They said Urban or Tressel.
Oh, Tressel! I heard Tressel too.
Tressel doesn't have the ego for that though. Urban's got the ego.
No, because he would
Tressel's
remind
so
me
aggressive
of Joe
too.
Pa at Penn State.
Yeah,
And we don't need any of that.
Yeah.
I do think that honestly, like if they did that, I actually think Urban could win the fucking title.
Yeah, if they cut him now,
right now.
Oh my god, yeah.
They probably could. They've got the talent there.
Yeah.
And I think he.
And Urban's so aggressive how he runs his offenses and it just doesn't. So
I would be scared.
That'd be crazy.
Because I mean, obviously it's no secret. I don't. We talked about this before you got on, Andrew, but I don't. If Ohio State was in the Citrus Bowl, I would root for them. Because it's the conference, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I root for the Big Ten teams during bowl season, but the playoffs, totally different thing. Like Michigan's the defending national champs. I don't want to relinquish the trophy.
Not to you.
The very next fucking year to Ohio State. I just can't. Again, it's not like it's a presentation that we have to hand it to you.
Yeah.
It ain't the green jacket of the Masters. But
that would be sweet if they started that.
Yeah, if they started doing that, that would be gross.
I mean,
would
at
hate
least,
that.
you know what, though? Like, worst case scenario would have been they beat us and they win the title. Like, that would have sucked. So I guess if they do win it, like, we can at least hold our hat on that.
Yeah.
But I don't want it. I don't want it.
Yeah.
I want them out as quick as possible. Although I don't want them out too quick because I don't want Day to get fired.
Yeah.
I think no matter the path that Ohio State's going to have in the playoff, I think they're going to run into Oregon to get to the national championship.
Then I say I like their chances if they play them again. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
I think
if they play at a neutral site.
Neutral site.
Stadium's hard to play at, dude.
Yeah. Well, I think only the first round's on the road. I think it immediately goes into the neutral sites in the second.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah. We'll double check. We'll have our playoff preview obviously next week. So.
But
Yeah.
see, here's one last thing. Here's the thing: is you win the conference like Oregon. Okay, most likely they're going to win this Saturday.
Yeah.
They get a bye, so they don't get rewarded a home game for the playoffs. I don't think that's right.
Oh, you know what? Why don't you research that while we continue to record after we're off with you, and you can shoot Tyler a text, and we'll do a live on the air correction. You can be our stat boy.
Yeah.
To double check that.
That's a good point though. I think it's unfortunate the way that it's. Yeah, because you give everyone that first round. If you're hosting, you got to host. You get a freaking game for a playoff. Like that is crazy.
Right.
So, okay. Well, the last question I wanted to ask you is to keep Ryan's day job. I know it's to make a national championship. Do you guys think you can make it and win legitimately this year?
Or do you want to wait to see the matchups first?
Yeah, I guess we can do that too. We can do that too.
What do you say?
We can call you next week. You can give us your prediction once you get the matchups in front.
Yeah, I mean, I know we don't know the matchups right now, but I mean, I guess do you think as of now?
Well, the chairman of the committee said that the people who aren't playing this weekend, he said they're pretty much locked in at the seed that they're at because they won't have another data point to go off of to be able to move them. Now, having said that, Ohio State beat Penn State, right? But Penn State is currently ranked ahead of them because Ohio State has 2 losses.
Right.
Now, if Oregon beats Penn State badly, I'm talking 28, 35 points, does Penn State still stay above Ohio State? I don't think that they can because of how bad that loss is,
I think
even though they played the extra game. Now, I don't think that they should be knocked out of the playoffs, but I don't think that they can stay above a 2-loss team when they have the same amount of losses.
They're going to juggle.
One team's loss total is 4 points.
Yeah, which that's what
the
I'm.
other one is way more.
Yes, I agree. That's what I'm dealing with here. I can't wrap my head around the 3-loss Alabama, the other 3-loss teams that could potentially get in. I can't wrap it around.
I honestly think that they, by putting Alabama in already, okay, I think they set the precedent that honestly these conference championships, at least the 2 big ones, the Big 12 and the ACC, I think that's the winner gets in, loser is out, and that's even if it's SMU. Because SMU is the highest ranked of the team that we're like, ooh, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think SMU needs to fucking win.
Yes.
To get in.
Yeah.
If SMU loses, they're out. Okay. And I honestly think that Boise needs to win. I think they have to win. If they lose, I think they may be out. And all that does is gives maybe Ole Miss and South Carolina a chance to sneak in. But every at-large team that's in the top 12 right now that's not playing this weekend is 100% in the playoffs. I just think the only thing that's going to change is you might get down a peg. Should SMU win, they might, obviously SMU gets an automatic bye because they're one of the 4 major conferences, which is kind of a joke. I mean, the ACC would be called terrible, but I don't feel bad for Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame deserves a bye, but the best that Notre Dame
Notre
can
Dame
get is
doesn't
the
deserve to play for a national championship at all.
At
Join
all?
Conference or get out.
Get in a conference.
Okay. Yeah,
That's a good. I mean, it's a good argument. It is. I mean, I also agree with some of that. I mean, I do think that they are a team that had an easy schedule, lost to Northern Illinois, and they're here now. But like, you're right. I feel like if they had a conference game this year, I don't know, like USC, Notre Dame,
they're an
like
unofficial invite of ACC, but okay, great.
In basketball,
then don't put fucking 2 ACC teams in the playoffs.
Right.
But yeah, I agree with you. They should be in one. They're the only one that's left, so everybody's in one.
Yeah.
Yeah. To answer your question though, Tyler, realistically, I sure as hell hope they can. But if they play like they did last Saturday, they'll lose round 1. So I'm hoping that they kind of shake off the cobwebs of the passing game and start firing the ball. They need to. They have the talent to do that.
Yeah.
The other end of that is I have not seen Will Howard be able to throw the ball down the field like Ohio State's past quarterbacks. And I think that's another reason why Chip Kelly doesn't really trust him.
That's interesting. That's a good point.
Do you think he had a concussion on Saturday? Do you think that's part of it? And they just didn't trust Brown to come in and win the game?
Yeah, I definitely do, because he doesn't have enough quality game experience. Now, yeah, he came in against Michigan State and threw that, pass to Jeremiah Smith where Jeremiah Smith caught one-handed. But he doesn't have enough quality game experience to be able to control a team or a game the way it needs to.
He also scored 3 points against Missouri in the bowl game too. Yeah, so I was hoping Brown was coming in. I'm like, oh, we got a shot.
Yeah,
because I was like, because it was early enough in the game that I'm like, eventually Ohio State's going to turn this on, right?
Yeah.
And when he came out, I'm like, oh, okay, here we go.
In the way that Will Howard played, I kind of would rather have seen what
right.
Brown had done at this point. Maybe
Right.
he could have turned it around. I don't know.
Right.
Man. Yeah. Well. Okay.
Well, we appreciate
you, man. Thank you for the recap. I know.
Me on, guys.
Yeah, I know it's probably kind of hard to do that. It's probably a hard spot.
I'm done sulking now.
Yeah. All right, Andrew.
And we promised that the roles are reversed next year.
Yes.
You get to just lay it on.
You're coming. You're calling in again, and we're going to do it again. So yeah, we'll do it all.
We thought was going to happen this year, honestly.
Yeah, I thought you were going to call in here and be that guy. So at this point,
no, I would not.
Yeah.
There's no point, right? I mean, at the end of the day, the final score is the final score.
You're right.
And you know what I love? You know what I love above all else here is there's going to be no Ohio State Buckeye logo at Adam Rich's old desk at work now. You can't put it up.
Oh, that's
right.
Can't
put it up. We didn't win.
I was getting ready to do. I bought a new red dry erase marker and everything.
Well, that thing might dry out before you ever win again.
Yeah.
That's all right. I think Phil sits there now, so I can definitely put that one because Ohio State beat Penn State.
Yeah, there you
so
go.
I can just put that one up there for him. It's the only logo. But yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on.
Heck yeah.
And by the way, if Ohio State takes the game next year, I'm coming to you guys on site.
Oh, I like that.
That's nice. I love it.
I love a chair up for you, definitely.
We gotta get you to the game. Come play with us.
Yeah, well, we have to get you up to Ann Arbor, man. That would be freaking awesome.
No thanks.
Our season tickets are right next to each other.
Yeah, I did.
Sure one of us can sell it.
Yeah.
You're paying what everybody else pays online.
I want to go to Ann Arbor as much as I want to shake Connor Stallion's hand.
Which he does come to our tailgate. You would be able to
He does. You can do that.
You would be able to do that.
All right, Andrew. We'll let you go. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. We appreciate it.
You fellas have a good night.
All right, you too. Yeah.
Go Blue.
All right. Go. That was awesome. Andrew, thank you. I hope you listen back to it. But, we can't thank you enough for jumping on. But that was great. Great recap.
It was good. That was very good. I didn't know how that was going to go. I don't know if I've ever talked to him for more than 5 minutes at a time. Definitely, it's always been about football. So that could have went either way.
Yeah.
Very, very good. We'll definitely.
No, he's a great talker.
Some playoff predictions next week.
That'll be great. Yeah.
So while we were on there, the Packers had a nice drive. 11 plays, 70 yards. Took up half the second quarter.
Yeah.
And it's now a 10-7 Detroit lead. Lions about to get the ball back. There's like 5 minutes left in the half. So let's go into the
it's gonna be
picks.
short. Yeah, it'll be a shorter week for us for sure. So we can hit this, and then we'll go right into.
We are going to change our rules because there is actually
there's Friday
no
games.
big spreads for our
That's
college
right.
rules.
That's right.
With favorite and underdogs is a 7-point spread. We don't have anything over like 5.5.
Yeah.
This week. So what we're gonna do?
That's
is,
crazy.
We're just gonna pick a favorite and then pick an underdog. Doesn't matter if it's 1 point or 5. It's going to count towards our point system since we're both going to be picking from the same pool. So
okay, cool.
So let's start with tomorrow night. We've got 3 games.
3 games.
Western Kentucky, Jacksonville State, which we touched base on. That this is a rematch from this last week. Jacksonville State's at home, and they're giving 4.5. I like Jacksonville State. I'm just going to roll the dice.
I am too. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and agree with you. I know you watched it. I'm going to be watching this game because of what you said, and which is so interesting because I don't know why I didn't think to watch this game. I just didn't have it on, but it's going to be very cool to see it pan out. So I will have this game on for sure. It's going to be good.
And even the bettors are thinking it because not only do they have Jacksonville State as a favorite, so the game was 19-17, so you had 36 points. The over/under is 57.5.
Oh, wow.
3 more touchdowns that that Vegas is planning on coming into this game. So, I'm going to take Jacksonville State in that one. Both teams are 8-4 record-wise.
I will take Jacksonville State too. I like that pick. Okay. I do. Yeah.
That game is on 7 o'clock CBS Sports Network. We're going to kind of shout out where you can watch
CBS.
this game this weekend. So CBS Sports Network, Western Kentucky, Jacksonville State. Tulane and Army on Friday night, 8 o'clock ABC. I just hit the wrong button there. So obviously, I'm going Army. They're getting 4.5.
That's
broke them a little bit, but
really
Tulane
interesting.
Also lost to Memphis. So
I'm
picking Army. A lot of that's with my heart.
Yeah,
I don't really have a lot more to go on than that, but I'm gonna go Cadets.
The Green Wave, I think, wanted to not have 3 losses this year. I think that they are a much better team than people put on to them. They are a good team. I think that all the American Conference, the Atlantic Conference this year was underlooked, in my opinion. There's a lot of good players there. There's a lot of good teams. I don't think anything would happen in the first round of a playoff if any one of them were to potentially make it. But I will say a lot of people are on Tulane. I like your pick, though. I think I am going to take the points here. But Tulane is just, I think they can win this game.
Okay.
I do think Tulane will win the game, but Army can cover. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Army is ranked right now, by the way, number 24.
Yeah.
And the other game Friday night, also at 8 o'clock on Fox.
That'd be fun.
Probably the game of the night.
That'd be fun.
Number 20 UNLV, number 10 Boise State.
Yeah.
This is a rematch from earlier in the year. UNLV, I wanted to pick them, but I had forgotten about it. In the game,
yes, right. Yeah.
So I was mad, but then I was glad because Boise State won the game. So, in UNLV, now there are some players on the Running Rebs that are not talking shit per se, but they're pretty confident and they feel like they've got something for Boise. Now this game is at home.
This is a home game for them. Yeah.
This is a home game.
Yeah.
And UNLV's getting 4.5. I feel like it's going to be a dogfight, so I'm definitely on the points.
I think I am too.
And I don't. Boise, I think's got to know that they have to win to get in.
Yeah.
And I want to see Genty in the playoffs. I just have a weird feeling about UNLV, so I'm going to at least take the points.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make them my favorite or my underdog of the week.
Right.
But yeah.
This is a spot for Boise for sure. I think a lot of people are just thinking Genty, 32 carries and 160 yards, 2 touchdowns, all this other stuff. He may still do that, but UNLV is in a great spot here, in my opinion. I really like the points. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but Boise wins. Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
Okay. So Saturday afternoon. We'll start the afternoon first.
Maction.
Yeah, the MAC championship. Ohio and Miami of Ohio. I really don't know much about either team. My gut is saying Bobcats. They're getting 2. Is this game a neutral site?
It is. Ford Field.
It's at Ford Field?
Ford Field.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to take Ohio.
Yeah, I like that
Again,
pick.
I don't know much about either team.
No, but I think the Bobcats are better than Miami, Ohio, and this is a rivalry game in and of itself.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
especially both teams in Ohio, of course, but they always play this game tough. So, I like the points. I like Ohio.
Sorry, Adam Rich, he's a big Miami, Ohio guy.
Oh yeah.
So Michigan fan as well, but
yeah,
I'm going against you on this one. That game is 12 o'clock ESPN. 12 noon at ABC, probably the game of the hour.
Yeah.
Number 16, Iowa State. Number 15, Arizona State.
That's going to be fun.
Big 12 championship. Arizona State's giving them 2. I like it. Arizona State, one of the hottest teams in the country right now.
Yeah, give me them 2.
Yeah.
Give me the 2.
Give me the Sun Devils.
I have no, the public is all over Arizona, but I don't even care. Like, that's one of those games. Yeah.
Do we want to talk SWAC championship?
Yeah.
Southern versus Dion's old team, Jackson State. So it's good to see that he left them obviously in good hands.
Yeah, definitely.
That was a school that wasn't very good. They finished 10-2 this year. I watched a little bit of the Southern Grambling game actually.
Did you?
On Saturday? I did. I always enjoy that game. The band show at halftime is awesome.
Yeah.
Southern looked decent. So and I don't know anything about either team. But Jacksonville State's laying 13.5. So
that's crazy.
They must feel pretty good about
I guess give me that. Yeah. Sure. Give me that. Sure. Jacksonville State wins. I won't probably touch it. But.
So 4 o'clock ABC. I think the game of the day. In my opinion.
A lot of implications.
Georgia, Texas. Texas is favored by 2.5. Even though Georgia went into Austin and beat them.
This is a revenge game.
Smacked them around a little bit.
Yeah, and this is a revenge game spot. I'm taking Texas. I think no doubt. I think they can win it good, win it big. But I want to see the seedings reseed, so I would want Georgia to win. Like I want to see the chaos, so I would want Georgia to win.
I think that happens.
You think beat them again?
Georgia, and it goes against everything that I've been saying.
Yeah.
Especially with Ohio State, Oregon, and teams playing each other twice. But I think it's the way that Georgia beat them. I like Georgia.
Yeah.
I think they've been there.
They know what it feels like.
Yeah. Neutral field. I mean, they beat them in Austin anyway.
Yeah.
There's going to be definitely be more Dogs fans there.
Well, this is in Atlanta. Yeah.
So it's almost like a home game for them.
Man, yeah.
I like Georgia. I do.
That's fair.
Again, it's kind of a gut thing, but
yeah. It's just hard to beat a team twice. That's what I'm banking on.
Is.
So yeah.
This might be my underdog. In fact, it is.
It is.
I'm calling
He's
it.
Calling it.
I'm going to say Georgia is my underdog.
Okay.
Again, the points don't matter this week since we didn't have very big spreads.
Yeah.
Give me the Bulldogs.
All right. Cool.
For the upset.
I like it.
7:30 Sun Belt Championship.
Marshall.
Slowly, I gave Ohio State shit, for having a bad conference schedule.
Yeah.
Or non-conference schedule. And again, Marshall's still not, But and the thing is, though, I want to rewind a little bit because we took some shit from Michigan having a bad non-conference schedule.
Yeah.
And you can't argue with the fact that, hey, we went into Happy Valley, beat a top 5 team, beat Ohio State that year.
Yeah.
And then beat Alabama. You watched one playoff, right?
Yeah.
But we played UNLV that year, and we blew them out. Okay, that team's 20th right now, and we're talking about them possibly upsetting Boise State.
Yeah,
and it's not an automatic bid for UNLV. They're not going to get ranked high enough to get into the playoff. But
do you think they do?
Very next year, no.
Do they?
They don't.
They don't.
No, there's not enough.
Damn, that sucks.
That quick. Not from 20.
Yeah, and you don't. And we need Miami to have a lot of chaos, so they're probably just. Yeah, you're right.
So I think that. I think Marshall wins this game. Louisiana Lafayette is favored by 5.5, but I've been watching a few Marshall games. I think the battle.
You like Marshall?
I do.
Yeah,
I don't know much about Louisiana. Just it's kind of more of an observation of what I've seen from Marshall. So
yeah, that's fair. I'll take it. I take the points. I'm agreeing with you. Yeah, I like that.
That is 7:30 ESPN. I forgot to mention Georgia, Texas is 4 o'clock ABC. So kind of a little bit of a standalone game there.
That Sun Belt game.
Eyeballs on it.
The Raging Cajuns are at home, so that's the only thing.
Is it a home game for them?
Yeah, it is home game for them. Okay.
Marshall beat a good James Madison team on the road in 2 overtimes maybe. I watched the end of that game Saturday night.
Okay.
So yeah, I like Marshall.
Yeah.
8 o'clock CBS. Number 3 Penn State, number 1 Oregon. Obviously, in some ways Penn State backed in to this game with Michigan's win. You're welcome, Nittany Lions.
Yeah.
Maybe. My brother's actually pissed because now he's like, well, fuck. If Penn State doesn't play in this game, they're automatically in the playoff. Now he's got this fear that
they're going to take them out.
I just don't think they can. Not from they're number 3.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to really drop them to lose to the number 1 team in the country. I don't care if they lose by 50. Like, it's the number 1 team in the country. Okay?
Versus 3. Yeah.
And you're only on the loss in Ohio State. So
right.
I just don't think that they would take him out. I think Penn State would be screwed if they got to go on the road.
Yeah.
I think Penn State's got a shot at winning a game if hell, they win this game. They get
Man,
five.
if it's in Happy Valley though,
But if they
win
Happy
by.
Valley, I think they got a shot.
Yeah, they're gonna have a whiteout game again. So yeah.
So Oregon's only favored by 3.5. I'm sure. I'm gonna look it up right now. I'm sure the public's all over Oregon. Oh my god, 87%.
Wow.
CBS.
Wow.
So that scares me. I will say that scares me. But I like Oregon.
Yeah, I do too. I don't see the fact that it's only 3.5. That's crazy. That to me, I thought it should be 7 at least, but that's crazy.
Yeah. 8 o'clock also ABC, number 17 Clemson, number 8 SMU. SMU's favored by 2. As much as I've been all over SMU all year, I'm excited that they got this opportunity.
Yeah.
I just, for some reason, I have a bad feeling that Clemson might win this.
Man, that sucks.
And it's like, I mean, they smell it, right? Like,
yeah.
Playoff times, the playoffs are extended. It's an ACC, so it's an automatic bid. I actually think, like, again, Clemson's the underdog, so I don't feel good. I've already locked Georgia as my underdog. I just have a weird feeling Clemson might win this game.
Man, that's crazy. I can see it.
Cream,
I can see it.
Cream rises to the top.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for SMU, and
Right.
I hope next week that we're talking about an SMU playoff matchup.
That'd be awesome.
Really hope that for that school. It's cool to see them back after the death penalty that they had.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But that oil money coming in, baby. So,
it is, man. It really is.
In. So
I like I'm just gonna ride with SMU here.
Okay.
I mean, it's still going to be a tough game for them. I really do. I think Clemson's found something over the last 2 or so games, maybe. Well, I mean, they just lost, but that game against Pitt, I just keep thinking back to, and the way they won that game, they can win it like that against SMU. So we'll see. But
I feel so like
in North
I feel
Carolina,
like I'm picking a bracket. I'm like chalk. I'm picking chalk. I'm picking schools that I just know, and maybe that's a bad thing. It's just like going with the devil, a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just a gut feeling. Real quick, the Lions got 3rd and goal at the 1 yard line with a minute to go and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he went to Montgomery. He did not get it. He might have lost about a half.
He may have got hurt right there. Oh, he got bent backwards. That's not good. That's not good.
Our boy Rashawn Gary was in on that tackle. Go blue.
Yeah, blue.
Up until
that's our
Bryce
highest.
Underwood is our highest.
Yes, he was our highest. Yeah.
And so he panned out. Again, I try not to get excited about recruit. Like this is the barometer for me. How do you do in college, and do you end up
we produce
becoming a pro?
Yeah, we produce. No,
so the Lions are letting this go down here. 4th and goal. It looks like they're letting the play clock go down to 1. Going to call timeout. So there's going to be about 16 seconds left in the half. So very interesting call coming up here for Dan Campbell. So we finished the recaps of the games that are happening this weekend. I've got my underdog with Georgia, so
I
will let you do your favorite first.
I'm going to take Oregon, no doubt.
You like Oregon? Okay.
Love them, yeah. And then underdog.
Oregon's laying 3.5.
Underdog.
And Georgia's getting 2.5. Don't forget we got Friday games too, which you can
pick from.
Pull from. Does that speak volumes that I did not take Army as my underdog?
Yeah. You're an Army guy.
The thing that's always scares me about Army is, are they going to turn it over?
I know, that's why I don't want to talk.
They're going to go for it. 4th and goal from the 2.
They got it. Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yep. The pass over the middle to Jahmyr Gibbs. 11 seconds to go to half. Pending extra point. Looks like it's going to be a 17-7 Detroit lead.
Dude, this team, they got the players, man. That offense. Yeah.
That was a 12-play, 70-yard drive to answer Green Bay's 7.5-minute drive.
Yeah.
Not a lot of drives in the first half. Quickly in the first half.
And they don't have Aiden Hutchinson. Could you imagine? For a second.
No, I can't imagine. I want to imagine. I'm
Yeah.
a Vikings fan. So,
okay, underdog. UNLV.
UNLV's the underdog?
Yeah,
And how many,
for me.
how many is on that line again?
4.5.
4.5?
Yeah.
All right.
That's a spot for UNLV for sure, I think. So.
I might go a little bit against the grain.
Okay.
And they did win for me earlier in the year. They didn't end up covering, though. So I'm torn now. Because what is the line, Jack? I was thinking Jacksonville State, but I don't like that line's 4.5. Yeah, maybe that is come down to a field goal and they don't cover. I'm gonna ride Sun Devils.
Favorite. That's a good one. Yeah, I like that.
All right.
And you like them, so that's good.
And they're only giving up 2, so I feel like I can come out of there with even if it's a close game, a field goal win. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm going. Underdog is going to be Georgia getting 2.5, and I'm going to lay Arizona State with 2 against Iowa State, and you are going UNLV plus 4.5 and Oregon minus 3.5.
Yes.
Got it. We are locked in on our college picks. So
we got it. Championship week gonna be fun. Gonna be a
Yeah.
lot of fun. So
Lions about to have a 17-7 halftime lead. Want to take a quick break?
Yeah, we
and
take a
then
quick
we'll do NFL.
all right, sounds good. Okay, we're back. While we were on the break, we actually thought of 2 different sport-related things this year. Of course, we were just doing huge into football. We've been all football, and that's what we do anyways. But 2 things came up. First one, the Golden Bat Rule for MLB could get very weird and interesting.
Rob Manfred, if you're listening,
Rob Manfred,
Please.
I hate you.
please, for the love.
Please don't.
Let's
Oh,
not.
Tawny?
That is so fucking gimmicky.
Yeah.
I can't even, this is like, is this like rock jock softball? What the fuck?
Yeah.
And it's just another thing for teams that are loaded, right?
Yeah.
And those are going to be the only teams that are going to want to do it, right? Can you imagine a Pirate Dodger game?
I just thought of
Bring
that.
up Shohei Ohtani. Who the Pirates bringing up? Fucking Brian Reynolds.
he's a good hitter, but yeah, nowhere near.
This is
Nowhere
This
near.
is absurd. I just, there's some.
I was trying to
things that
find
you
it,
can-
the article.
You can convince me on, maybe even the Ghost Runner for
Yeah.
extra innings, so that games aren't taking forever. I love the pitch clock.
Oh yeah.
Especially watching it at home. Those kinds of things, fine. Like something that speeds the game up.
Yeah.
This is another thing that slows it down.
This is going to slow it down, and you put the pitch clock in just to use it to speed it up, and now you're going to put another bat at up
I mean,
to the plate.
there's something I like about handing over a batting order at the beginning of the game to the
Yeah.
umpire. I mean, I do that in my daughter's league.
Yes. Right.
Direct leagues,
Couldn't
So
find it.
it's something it just bothers me. I can't.
And it's only for once a game,
Once a game,
and you bring up so someone could have 5 go arounds instead of 4. It's usually 4.
this doesn't speed up the game.
Doesn't speed it up.
A lot of the other rules that, oh wow, the Packers did a deep
Oh.
shot to Christian Watkins. And we were just talking about Jordan Love's numbers, going into halftime. He's 3 of 7 for 30.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow, he could be quarterback from Michigan. But yeah, he just hit a deep shot to Watson, so Green Bay's in the red zone on the first try of the second half here. But yeah, some of the other rule changes that they've made again have sped up the game. With the pitch clock, the Ghost Runner,
Goes.
so
Yeah.
that you're not
The extras.
playing 15, 16, 17 innings.
Yeah.
The rule of the relievers having to face 3 batters.
Oh yeah.
I'm okay with that because that slows down the game when you're constantly changing pitchers.
Yeah.
And there's so many relievers now that I like that. I like that there's a little bit of strategy behind the strategies behind who's coming up in the lineup. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you want to throw this fucking thing in there.
Yeah, and you
It's
want to.
something else that they got to think about. That they haven't used their golden at bat rule yet.
Yeah.
So they might throw this guy out. So the chess game doesn't need to be that in depth.
Yeah.
So
it's
only going to be an advantage for
bigger teams.
Less than half the teams.
Yes. Yeah. Like this is another rule that he's trying to implant that scares me. Like he's really trying a lot in the minor league systems and everything. Like, and we're nowhere near the robot umpires yet, but that would suck. You can't do that. Like these are the things I'm talking about with him though that he wants to keep doing, and I don't think he's actually really helping the game of baseball. I think it's actually hurting the game of baseball, and this is one of those things again. I don't know. Don't know.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see if it even happens. I mean, no use getting upset about it until it happens.
Yeah.
It could be just hot stove rumors. I mean, it's only December, so
right.
But we just want to point it out there.
It did come out. Yeah.
Anybody has any thoughts about it? Throw it in the comments. But if it happens, we'll talk more about it.
Yeah.
And any other rule changes that would be coming into next season. So we'll save that for a little bit closer to baseball season, when we need things to talk about.
really.
So we're
going to be a lot of filling, I feel. But the other one before we get back into football is.
Did he catch that? Yeah, he did.
Oh yeah. Kraft.
Yeah. Kraft just caught a pass on 3rd and 10 from Love. So less than 2 minutes into the third quarter, the Packers are an extra point away.
Tucker
making this a 17-14 game.
Wow. Yeah, and then before we get back into football, we have a little bit of football. Bill Belichick reportedly could be on the replacing Mac Brown, could be in North Carolina. I like this, and I also hate it. I don't think he should be anywhere near a college team, anywhere near. But I also do like to see what he could do in recruiting. That could be a lot of fun. I don't know if he could be good at it or not, but he has.
I feel like, is he too late in his life for something that drastically would change?
He's going to be traveling again a lot more, I think, because now you're recruiting. Now you're going to go see people in the summer. Now you got to go see people every other year. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Does his girlfriend have friends that go to North Carolina?
Yeah, she might. That's probably why he's going.
That's kind of the comment I made when I first said that. In the break, I'm like, wow, yeah, I guess he. So I was like, he shouldn't be anywhere near a college campus. I'm like, why?
No.
Because he dates college girls now?
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. I like it. I also don't like it. I'm in the middle. I'm on the fence. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Do you think
weird? I thought for sure he'd be back with some kind of
right. But do you think he can win a national championship for UNC? I don't.
No.
I don't. But
I don't. It's just not a football school. I mean, they don't care about it there. I don't think it's going to be any. I mean, obviously they fired Mac Brown. I think it would be Mac Brown like. I don't know. Is that necessarily an upgrade from what you had?
Right.
So it's just a name.
It is a name.
Yeah.
It is a name.
So I don't know, but
yeah. Okay.
Let's talk NFL.
Preview or
picks.
Yeah. Recap first. Yeah.
Start with you, since you laid a big fat 0 on your NFL picks. You had. I'm sorry.
No, I got points. I got points.
I'm looking at the wrong.
I was gonna say.
I'm an idiot. I
was like, wait a second.
You got 3.
You got
3 points. I'm sorry. Your favorite was the Denver Broncos, given 5.5, and if it wasn't for the Jameis Winston experience, maybe you would have actually lost that game. I think the Browns were the better team that night. But again, Jameis Winston. I mean, that was a, if you're 30 years from now, and your kid or grandson asks you about Jameis Winston, that's the game you put on tape. And so
it is. This was Jameis Winston
experience.
You have no idea.
500 yards passing.
Yeah.
4 touchdowns. And then 3 interceptions with 2 pick sixes. So technically, he threw 6 touchdown passes.
Yeah, didn't he have like 600 yards total or 660 yards total between all of the interceptions? There was returns with all this different stuff.
Because hell, the last one he threw, which was at the goal line, which would have if Browns would have scored there, they would have covered. But so damn it, 3 points you shouldn't have had.
Let's go.
That was almost all over the Browns that night. I was going to take them.
Yeah,
and then I didn't, and as the game was playing out, I'm like, man, they're going to win this fucking game. And then, killer pick sixes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like Cleveland they moved the ball great. I think Winston outplayed Nix again, other than the interceptions. Denver's defense, which has been good all year. They've only given up 16 points a game. The Browns were going up and down the field on them. So it was an entertaining game. It wasn't an exciting game going in, but it was a very entertaining game to watch.
Yeah.
And then your upset pick of the week was the 49ers. Unfortunately,
Tough.
The snowstorm.
I think it could have planned it out a little bit different. You got to give me like a little bit of credit. It was freaking snowing there.
It was snowing.
It was snowing.
Yeah. But biggest difference, and it's been kind of the Niners' Achilles heel all year, other than the injuries. Just settled for field goals in the red zone.
Yeah.
And it was hard to kick. I mean, Moody made a couple, but Buffalo just get touchdowns, and 49ers are settled for field goals. They just can't keep up that way. McCaffrey going down again. Sounds like he's out for the year. The Niners just, I question. I have a buddy who's a 49ers fan. I'm like, who the hell is your strength and conditioning coach?
Yeah.
I've never seen a team have this many fucking injuries. It's crazy.
I don't know.
want to use it as an excuse, but it's just too tough to overcome.
Yeah.
They're 5-7 now.
Like I don't have any fear on them anymore. You know what I mean? It's at the point. I don't
either.
I don't respect the team. I don't like Kyle Shanahan. I don't know.
If they have one thing going for them, though, is the division's not that good.
There's still a chance for them. So
they got to overcome a couple teams. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So it's not like, okay, we're 2 games out chasing one team. Just got to worry about them. You've got 3 teams in front of you that all have their own flaws and their ups and downs as well. But the bad thing that's actually going for the Niners is they're 1-3 in their division.
Yeah.
And they've lost each of the 3 teams ahead of them. 2 of them at home when they had leads. So they just blew their chance probably.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to make playoffs. So.
They got to figure it out now.
Yeah,
if they do.
They
got to win this week. Interception by Jared Goff.
Here we go.
Okay.
Ball game here. Green Bay's going to be back in the red zone.
All right. Nixon.
Still going to go in the third quarter. 17-14 Detroit lead. Nixon. So you end up with 3 points in the NFL.
Yeah.
I maxed out. Didn't max out. I could have maxed out. The Commanders covered, blew out Tennessee, had a 28-0 lead.
Yeah.
They easily covered the 6, so I got 3 points there. And then my underdog, let me tell you something. I watched on the red zone a lot of that game because there was only 3 games on. And Thielen had a touchdown in the first half that was called incomplete on the field.
Yeah.
Beautiful. He had a couple great catches, by the way. Like, he was back. It was good to see it. I like Thielen.
Yeah.
Minnesota guy was a Viking. I wish he had retired a Viking. Maybe he does someday. But he proved that he's not done. And he made some great catches. I don't know what the replay official saw. He caught the fucking ball.
Yeah.
But apparently it wasn't enough to overturn it. So Carolina had to settle for a field goal, so there was a 4-point swing there.
Yeah.
Eddie Pinheiro, who, believe it or not, is the NFL's all-time kicker in field goal percentage. Now, especially now that Tucker's had a bad year. We'll get to that when we recap this game. But Pinheiro missed 2 field goals in that game. And then Carolina still, after all this, is still in overtime. They're moving the ball after Tampa Bay had already was not successful on their first drive, so field goal wins the game.
Yeah.
Chuba Hubbard busts out a big run, gets the first down, 15 yards, fumbles the ball.
Fumbles the ball.
So Tampa Bay goes the other way, kicks field goal, walks off with the win. So I'm pissed.
Yeah.
I could have had my upset. Would have been the second time that I picked the Panthers as a 6-point dog to win at home. So they did cover, so I got 3 points from both of mine. So I actually extended my overall standings lead to 53-41.
That's gross.
How do you feel about that?
I'm much better in college. NFL, I'm figuring it out. I don't know. Last week I take the Commanders, and then this week you take them, they win. Last week I took them, they lost.
That could be a strategy.
Yeah, I guess. Just take everything the next week that I lose on. So we're here.
Jacobs just
Josh.
The end zone for a go-ahead touchdown for the Packers. 11:15 to go in the third, and
that's good.
Green Bay's looking at going up 21-17.
And so you guys still have to play them again, the Green Bay Packers.
We do.
You have to play the Lions again.
And actually, that's how we end the year. So we get Green Bay at home and at Detroit. That's our
a lot could happen for your end of year. Yeah.
And obviously, obviously somebody's going to lose tonight. most likely. It could be a tie, but
yeah.
Most likely somebody's losing tonight. So I mean, it looks like all of us are going to kind of be together.
Yeah.
So those last two games of the year, they're probably going to mean something. So just trying to think of 1 week at a time.
It's starting to ramp up now. It's starting to ramp up.
We can segue to that.
Yeah, we can talk about you.
First.
I'm getting annoyed.
You get it probably super
real quick.
Texting you
yeah, you told me.
Like we're gonna be fucking tied.
I only watched the Steelers game on Sunday. That's all I watched. It was my birthday. Shout out, my birthday.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. And we had to go to dinner after and everything else. Not had to, but wanted to, or whatever. So that was really nice. But I just watched the Steelers. But when you text me that, I'm like, yes. And then they won the game. They won the game. Okay, keep figuring it out.
Listen,
I'm starting to get annoyed.
They were flat, and I wasn't. Again, it's one of those like even if they would have lost the game, and I've been saying this all year, that they're overachieving from what I thought. This was supposed to be a rebuild year. Kirk. I'm sorry, I was on Kirk. Sam Darnold, signed for a year.
Yeah.
I really thought, when they drafted JJ that, I didn't want JJ to start week 1 anyway. I really thought, okay, if Darnold plays good, I'm good with JJ sitting all year, which has been the case even if he wouldn't have got hurt.
Yeah.
I don't think there's been any game where you can say, oh, I think Darnold out. But I wouldn't have been surprised if by now JJ would have been playing.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a filler right now. But yeah, the way that things turning out, even if JJ was healthy, I'm ride or die with Darnold the rest of the year now.
Yeah.
I still don't know if he's a Super Bowl caliber quarterback. I worry about our run game, and Darnold would happen to win the game. I like our defense. I think our defense is quietly a Super Bowl caliber defense.
Yeah.
I really do feel that.
Yeah.
So we just need Darnold to not fuck it up.
Yeah, you just need the offense to be consistent with what they're trying to do.
And plays. You got to find something with the running game a little bit, though, especially come playoff time, especially when we got to go on the road.
Yeah.
So that's what worries me. But to go and listen, Arizona is a decent team. They were my pick to win the NFC West. I'm starting to think Seattle's going to get it done, but I think that it was still a good hard fought battle. But there was like no energy. It was so weird. And again, I was at the bar, so I didn't really hear the broadcast. But I was reading it on Twitter. I noticed that because usually our home crowd, even with the bar crowd going on at the game, I can usually hear our crowd when we're at home. Just the crowd noise being on defense. But a lot of my friends that were there were commenting like, for it being the first home game in a month, because they were on the road for 3 straight.
Yeah.
I had a bye before that, so it was a month before they had been at home. You would think they would just be ready to go, and they were so fucking flat.
Slow.
There's no energy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I really thought, okay, I'm kind of chalking this up as a loss.
Yeah.
Kind of like I did with that Colts comeback a couple of years ago. I'm like, I was texting you, we're tied.
Yeah.
Because I'm watching the Steelers pull away from Cincinnati during this, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess our bet's tied again, and back to the drawing board a little bit, and then a switch went on. I mean, Darnold was fantastic in the fourth quarter, 12 of 17, 156 yards, 2 touchdowns, all in the fourth. Defense started making stops, and we even had a drive in there where, Aaron Jones, I tell you what, he starting to get the fumbleitis a little bit. Never really had it. It's got 5 this year. Had 2 in that game. 1 that he lost. Dropped the touchdown pass.
Oh.
That would have given us the lead at that point. We were already kind of crawling our way back in. It was a 19-13 game when he dropped it.
Yeah.
Would have been a tough catch, but very, very catchable. So we had to settle for a field goal there. But obviously, luckily, it didn't matter. We ended up holding Arizona to a field goal and getting the game-winning score to Aaron Jones with a minute and a half to go. So, everybody in the bar was all afraid that we scored too quick. But just like Ohio State, we got the ball back, couldn't even get a yard. 4 straight plays that I think netted 1 yard, I believe, on a screen pass. So, defense they stepped up and won that game.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And those are the types of victories that even when they're ugly, when you can beat a decent team like that and find a way to win, I feel like that gives you the confidence that Because you know what? Sometimes playoff games are not pretty.
Right.
And it was a playoff-like atmosphere, especially in the fourth quarter. Again, the crowd, I was very disappointed in it. Don't do that shit again.
Yeah.
Please. We definitely got to protect our home. Like, we got some tough games still coming in for Cousins to come back this week. We got Green Bay in a couple weeks at home. And then who knows? You know, I know most likely it's looking like Detroit may win the division. So the Vikings will have to go on the road out of the gate. But the way things are going right now, they're the highest wild card seed. So you don't know if other wild card teams upset it. You may end up getting the NFC Championship at home. So got to have the crowd better next time. I'm a little disappointed in that. So that's it. That's all I got on that game.
I'm just getting annoyed. I don't have much at all.
We have an official down here in this game.
I don't want to say. Oh, jeez.
I don't see what happened.
Yeah.
He's sitting up though, so we'll let you know if we show a replay. But yeah,
I don't think. I think your defense is amazing. It is. All right hand up. They're great.
Which scares me because Forrest is going to get a fucking job next year, isn't he?
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah,
he's gone. But like I think the offense, like Darnold, could lose you a game, just maybe. Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Oh, it looked like he just ran into a Packer either coming on the field or coming off the field.
Oh. But yeah, we can jump into Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
Bengals. I love the Pittsburgh Steelers. just keep it going. Keep it going. I should have taken. Well, I took the Vikings last week, and then I took the Steelers, and then you took the Bengals, and I took the Vikings. You know. Anyways, just keep doing it. Just keep going against us, please, because we keep winning when you do. So, this game the Bengals defense is just non-existent at all. We just kept scoring. We usually will probably not do that again. So it was just a lot of fun to score so much. I loved it. Russell Wilson was freaking amazing. He threw for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. This is exactly what we were missing. And
well, I mean, they were playing a high school defense.
Dude, this is exactly what we needed. Yeah. But and Najee looked good. Like the offense is looking great. The defense is stellar still. There's just not much to complain about here. I mean that offense though, if they had an ounce of defense, God, they are the best. They're probably the best. I think they're the best offense in the league right now. And if they had an ounce of defense, I think they could go to the Super Bowl and win it. And it's so unfortunate they don't. So
the Bengals have lost 3 in a row.
Yeah,
they've scored 99 points.
It's insane. It's so bad.
They've lost to Pittsburgh once and Baltimore twice, and they've scored 120 points.
Wow,
that's unbelievable.
Yeah, that just shows how bad their defense is. That's what I mean. Like, their offense is so good. It's so good. I watched that entire thing. I just was so afraid. Like, every time Jamar Chase, where's he at? You know what I mean? Like, it's just all the time. He scored. It's just.
Let me tell you something. I think, you can chalk it up as a bad year, but if we get into, week 5 or 6 of next year, and this is still going on.
Yeah.
Does Burrow say, "Get me the fuck out of here"?
Man.
And he is from Ohio, so does he? Maybe there's more leeway with that, but
yeah. Well, he's from Athens, I think, too.
So he's like the look on his face is just weird. Like, I mean, he's definitely visibly frustrated.
Yes.
But he's not saying it, which is maybe good. Keeping it bottled in.
Right.
Does it come out eventually? And this is all I'm speculating.
No, I know. But when it gets later on in this year now, like, we're getting late, but when it gets later and later, I think he can start. Definitely.
I mean, he's got, if you look at his numbers, he's got MVP numbers.
Yes. Like, he threw 3 touchdowns last week. I guess so.
It's 4-8.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, I just don't know.
I'm
not trying to take anything from the Steelers' win either. I mean, the
Bengals defense sucks.
Because even when, again, we talked about this with the Steelers of the last couple of years, offense always seems to. The Lions, by the way, just went for it on 4th and 1 and got it right at midfield. The last couple of years, the Steelers' offense has just been terrible, pathetic, and I feel like even when they were playing a not so great defense, they still struggled to get points, and that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
I know, one of them was on a fumble return, but he still had 37 from the offense. So, and they moved the ball pretty consistently. And even at the start of the game, I found the flag, by the way, on that first pick 6 to start the game.
Oh yeah.
Man, I hate the Steelers, but that was passive aggressive all day long.
I don't know.
Not
Maybe.
what's called. So,
Maybe.
yeah. So I was like, okay. I'm like, if that's where we're gonna go, I like it. I like Cincinnati all day today.
Yeah.
And that's what it looked like, But the more Pittsburgh just kept bouncing back, I'm like, it's the same old Bengals from this year.
Yeah.
They just have no defense. So.
And next week we got the Browns, so I feel good.
Yeah, especially at home.
Yeah, and we losing. Yeah, and we're gonna split. So
that might be a blowout city right there.
Yeah.
So that's good. That gives you some momentum to go in, and I don't think with Buffalo playing the way they are, Kansas City still finding ways to win.
Yeah. Not against us.
It could be hard. You're
not against us.
You think you have a shot number 1 seed?
At this point, right now. Last week 2 weeks ago,
almost like on a screen, we need to put up. Buffalo, Kansas City, and Pittsburgh.
Yeah, right. And compare.
And go through.
Before the Browns Thursday night game, I was like, number 1 seed. We lost that game. I think it was a fluke. I think the Browns just came to play. Everything else. It was a Thursday night, short week. Anyways, yes. We have a chance for it. We do. But it's going to be hard to get.
You're not calling it.
Yeah, I'm not calling it. But I was calling it before the Browns game. I was.
The one thing I will say to you right now, and then if it ends up being the playoff matchup, I will remind you of this. You don't want to play Baltimore in the first round. And it may end up setting up that way. They keep losing.
Yeah.
You don't want to play the Ravens.
No,
not in the first round.
They have not shown me a damn thing now. They haven't. They haven't shown. I know, yeah.
I feel like they're going to.
But after losing the Eagles the way they did, the Eagles look like beatable.
That. Let's talk about it right now. Let's transition
good.
to that game. Because, man,
Tucker
lost that game.
Listen,
he's won a lot of games for the movie.
Yeah.
A ton. But something's wrong.
Well, this is the same thing. This is the same thing that happened to Adam Vinatieri.
It happened
Hall of Famer.
Who's the Packer kicker? I'm thinking Mason Crosby.
Crosby
had that one.
What a kicker. Yeah.
And I made fun of him for it, too. Yeah. And you know what? When I did that, it was bad karma and bad juju for me.
Yeah.
Because right after that, it was a decade before the Vikings had a kicker, which we do now. Hell, we have 2 of them. We're so good with our kickers right now. Now we have 2 of them. So what do we do when Riker's back? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because as soon as we let Parker Romo back to the practice squad, somebody's fucking picking him up.
Right.
And dude hit a fucking 56-yarder on Sunday. So, which I was on the record to say I don't want him trying this. Because even though he's been making them and hadn't missed one, until he did miss it on Sunday. He missed one on Sunday for 41. But up until then, they were shaky. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm comfortable in trying a 56-yarder in a game where we weren't moving the ball very well.
Right.
I don't want to give Arizona the ball in midfield. He fucking boomed and nailed it. So, so I'm going to shut up. But something's wrong with Tucker. And that lost that game. It did.
Yeah.
So, there were 2 of them want to give him a lead.
Right.
One was early in the game that would have extended. We also missed an extra point.
Yeah.
So you put 7. You lost 7 points in a game.
Literally, you lose by 5.
Yeah.
So it's so interesting. I think the Eagles look beatable now.
I was actually good.
Very good.
I think the Eagles are good.
They are very good. They are.
I tell you what, if the Lions do trip up here tonight,
they have a top spot.
All of a sudden, I don't know who's got the tiebreaker between them, but all of a sudden, they're kind of in line.
Yeah.
And I don't want that. I want, as good as the Lions have looked, I much would rather Minnesota go into Detroit for an NFC Championship game, especially because it's a division rival. At least they know them, than I would them going to Philadelphia. Philadelphia's a house of horrors for them when it comes to playoff time.
Yeah.
Lions going for it on 4th down again.
Oh.
They got it again. Touchdown pass to, what was that?
I didn't see.
Lions got so many weapons, can't even keep track of the players. Tim Patrick.
Tim
So,
Patrick.
another 4th and goal from I think it was, that was from a 30.
We're to Amon Ra.
So it's another yard, basically a 2-point conversion. So yeah, 2 4th down conversions. See, I'm telling you, this is why I picked Green Bay to win by 1. Came gonna do some shit like go for 2 at the end of this game.
Yeah.
And not get it. And Green Bay's gonna come out of the win. And we're pretty eerily close to where I said 31-30, so this would make it 24-21.
Wow.
Which would set us up for that.
I said 28-22, right?
Ooh, that was a little shaky, but he got it. So 5 minutes to go in the third, it's 24-21 Detroit.
Wow.
Boy, if this hits, so we gotta start fucking betting this shit.
Yeah, I know, really.
You can tell we watch a lot of football, guys.
Yeah.
Anything else from Baltimore, Philly?
It's.
And again, I told you last week, and I didn't fucking do it. I need to start writing down notes. Like I'm watching these games, and I'm like, oh, I need to talk about this.
Yes.
Today. Or I need to, and then like we get to Thursday, Wednesday, whatever.
Yeah.
And I fucking
everything gets gone.
It's all gone. I need to be the, and I got it. I got my yellow legal pad right here. That I only write down our predictions and scores and shit. I need to make some notes so that I've got more to give and to analyze for some of this, because otherwise I'm going off the top of my 43-year-old brain, and I've watched so many games in between there and other things going on that I just...
It's hard to remember. I don't remember anything from it.
Yeah, when we get to this point...
I remember anything I did yesterday.
Yeah. So,
nothing else. Like you said, I wouldn't want to see Baltimore proud. I think I would, because I think we're still going to lose to them at the end of the year when we play them again. And then if we play them again in the playoffs, I think we beat them. I do.
Okay.
So I just don't want to beat them twice and then face them again, because we lose the game. So,
Although this could be some interesting games when we get down to that. The what is it? 3 teams that are involved with that. 4 teams. Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Houston, Kansas City. They are all playing the Saturday before Christmas, and then they all play on Christmas Day, which is a Wednesday. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's Steelers, Ravens, Chiefs, Texans, the Saturday before Christmas.
Oh.
And then on Christmas Day,
I did not know that.
It is Chiefs, Steelers, Texans, Ravens. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's going to be very interesting with the short schedules. Cause coming out of Saturday, you're going to be on 1 day short rest, and then you're flipping around.
What day is Christmas?
Which is no different than going from Sunday to Thursday, but Christmas is on Wednesday.
We play Saturday. Okay, we're going to
play Saturday, and then you play Wednesday. But you're playing a team that's also doing it.
Yes.
So the whole rest wise, that's why it's just those 4 teams involved. All 4 good teams, all 4 playoff teams.
The Texans are weird, but they are.
But
you're right.
Teams are playoff teams. So going to be interesting games there. I would not be surprised if one or both those games are going to be shit.
Yeah.
Just because of the timing and the rest that they're going to have, the lack thereof.
Yeah.
Now the good thing is going into your last game of the season, which is the Bengals.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
You'll actually have an extra 3-4 days rest.
Which is that game's still to be determined.
So it may end up being a Saturday.
It might be a Saturday game,
and so that's going to end up. I bet you it'll come down to, does it matter for something?
Because they don't have the time on it. I know it's per Bengals country, but
seed. Bengals are done.
Yeah.
But if you're locked into some kind of seed, they may end up just putting something at 1 o'clock
at home. Yeah. So.
But that'll be announced, like a week before. So
that'll be fun. I'm excited to do that. I'm not excited for Netflix. I don't have Netflix. I canceled it, of course, this year, and then they have a game on freaking Netflix. So I don't have Netflix.
Welcome to come over.
You have Netflix?
We do.
Nice. Okay.
So you're welcome to come over.
That's
Christmas.
good to know.
We'll be home. We already made that announcement to
our
family.
That's right. You are going to be
home. We are not fucking going anywhere. Anyone wants to come over, we will be here.
Let's go. All right.
You do not have to bring a gift.
Should I bring gifts?
This is not an invite to listen. I'm sorry. This is an invite to Tyler.
Let's go.
He is fan.
Yeah.
So, no. Anybody that does want to watch those games. Are they both on Netflix? Let me look that up. I don't know if they both
great question.
Or one was.
I don't
Oh, yeah, they are both.
Wow.
Yep, both on Netflix. Kansas City Pittsburgh is at 1 o'clock. And Baltimore Houston is at 4:30 on Christmas Day. So, we may end up having to go on the air early that week, maybe Monday.
Yeah. Depending on, I guess.
Maybe we do the Monday night game that week.
Oh.
Which right now is New Orleans, Green Bay. But Monday night games can be flexed out. So.
That's true.
So we'll see what happens. I guess we'll take it 1 week at a time.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I think we talked. I think we're going to be back next Thursday night.
Yeah, next Thursday.
Rams 49ers. So,
Yeah.
So let's finish.
Let's finish up.
Sunday slate here.
Chargers win.
Kirk
17
Cousins.
Yeah.
We went through some of those games before. Let me tell you. 4 picks, including the pick 6 that.
Yeah, 4.
The game.
Yeah.
All just killer turnovers in that game, which does scare me coming into this matchup.
Like they didn't have to do anything on the Chargers. Didn't do anything on offense.
No,
Like didn't have to.
Didn't
So
have to.
yeah, it's just too bad. I don't know.
That's a good win for them. Going
Yeah.
on the road, technically a division leader. They're now tied with Tampa, but and the way things are going and trending, I mean, Tampa man just won that division after all.
I know. After all those injuries,
Yeah. But man, Kirk, I mean, he just can't help himself but be on a mediocre team. Like,
Yeah.
He did it to us. Like, just middle of like, and they were 6-3. It looked like they were going to be good on a 3-game losing streak.
Yeah.
Again, we'll talk about it when we talk about our picks, but that scares me. The Falcons are hot. Falcons are not.
Yeah.
Could be a down. It could be time for a letdown, but we'll see.
Could get interesting.
Houston and Jacksonville, and I know that we only want to talk about one play in that game.
That hit.
That hit was bad.
Do you think he could have ever slowed himself down, or he was just trying to do that? Because I keep looking at that replay, and sometimes I really think that he could have slowed himself down.
Oh, so do I.
Yeah.
Like I think the initial view, like the TV view, the live broadcast view, I guess,
Yeah.
Where it's kind of side to side. It looks like it's like one of those. It's kind of a football play.
Right.
Does he truly know where he is? And then they showed the view from like the end zone, like behind Lawrence, and it's like he just leaned into it.
Yeah.
And I think that he is a dirty player. He does have a history, which is why he ended up getting suspended for 3 games.
3 games.
Including kicked out in that one. So essentially, it was a 4-game suspension. There was other people out there talking about should he be out as long as the injury is, and that's the NHL does things like that. That's a tough one to do.
Yeah.
In NFL, and in this case, it sounds like it would have been for the rest of the year. So I don't think he can go that far, but he's kind of a dirty player.
Yeah.
So again, if you got that reputation, they're going to throw the book at you. So
yeah, it's so sad for Jacksonville too right now. They're back to their old ways. They're 2-10. They suck again.
Yeah.
Like I thought there was a little bit of hope and chance in the last few years, and then now you're here.
Ever since they blew
back.
that playoff game against the Chargers,
Yeah.
they had a big lead in that game, and it's just been
Ever since.
nightmare since then.
Yeah.
So Green Bay just punted. So Detroit's going to get the ball back with a 24-21 lead here, late third quarter.
Yeah.
The Colts, some gutsy calls at the end of that game.
Yeah.
Got the 4th down touchdown, went for 2.
Run for 2, with 12
that
seconds.
was
It's
cool.
just.
How about the 68-yard field goal attempt? Man, when he hit it,
Yeah.
I thought he had it. Holy shit. I mean, a yard or 2 short. I'm pretty sure if it was a 66-yard attempt.
Yeah, he would have had
made
it. Yeah.
And I never would have thought, Joey Sly's been around the league for a while. I never would have considered him the.
I don't think he would have. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I never knew he had anything. I don't know. What
I know he had the
his
leg for
background
that.
is,
Yeah, I
but
didn't.
Yeah, I never would have guessed him hitting something over 60.
No.
So, but that's where we're at now with kickers, man. I mean, like the
Yeah.
range is like, it's probably not going to be unfathomable that a kicker makes or tries and makes a 70-yard field goal. Right?
Yeah.
It's bound to probably.
It's gonna. I feel like it will. Like at some point they're gonna have the right wind. I don't think a person can actually do it just their leg itself with no wind. But at some time, one of these times, it's gonna happen. There's gonna be enough wind behind them. They're gonna have There's gonna be good by themselves from 63, and then the 7 mile an hour.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, they were going to try. When the Vikings played the Lions, if it wasn't for that 5-yard penalty that they got at the end of the game, he was going to try Reichert from, I think it was going to be about 67, 68.
That's crazy. With no wind, dude.
It would have been indoor.
Yeah.
Man, I tell you what, I think it would have been fun to see it.
To see 70, that would be the true test. To see 70 in a dome, I don't think a human being, they're making strides though. I mean, they are. They're hitting 65, 66. They've done it now. So I don't know. I will say Drake May.
I like how you said, not a human being.
Not a human being.
Maybe a
robot.
Kickers.
Drake May is. I like Drake May a lot. He's going to be good. I think he's playing just as well. As, like a Bo Nix. You know what I mean? He's got. So he's making some good plays. But
Seahawks and the Jets looked like they were in control of this game early on. And then they had a big turn of events with 92-yard interception. And again, we talked about this in August. I told you the Jets. This
is a bad take of mine.
Doesn't surprise me, but I love seeing it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I don't know what.
I hope they just keep losing.
I don't know what's next for them.
I think Rodgers. I think he either walks away completely or tries something another team. Another fourth down. They didn't get this.
They didn't get that.
Lions went for it 4th and 1 on their own 30-yard line with a minute to go in the third.
They don't get that.
Up 3.
Yeah, I don't know why.
See,
That's when
this almost makes me wonder if this is how they end up losing in the playoffs.
That's a good point.
Or maybe they win a Super Bowl this way. Maybe they win a Super Bowl by just like never punting. Like this is like they're playing fucking.
That's so bad. That is such a bad field position.
That's a bad call.
That's a bad call.
Do that.
Yeah.
But who knows? I mean, you know what? If he makes it,
he's praised. Yeah.
He's just living and dying with it. He doesn't care.
I hate the 4th down analytics, dude. I hate them all. You should freaking kick a field goal.
Well, if he loses this game, especially if Green Bay punches it here,
that's very aggressive.
He's 11-1. I mean, his team's buying into it.
Yeah.
I mean, let it play out. Still a lot of time in this game, but I mean, I'm screaming right now. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we should have got Brian. We got to get a Lions fan on here.
Yeah.
How do you really feel about that?
Yeah.
Man, it's crazy. All right, we'll see if Green Bay can do anything with it.
Yeah. I guess we talked.
Any more Aaron Rodgers talk?
No, he's done. I'm
done.
Bad take on my part. Sorry. I do love Aaron Rodgers.
We all have our bad days.
Yeah, I just want it to happen. I want it to be another Favre rendition. Go to the Vikings. Love it.
No.
Oh my God, I love it. I would be just so happy for you, and I'd be so happy for you.
This one though was a little bit different than
Favre.
I hated Favre because he was a Packer, and now he's not such a good human being. Now stealing welfare money and shit, but. Aaron's just fucking weirdo. Like I just don't. I don't need the drama. Like he's all like. Have you seen the commercials for his Netflix documentary?
No.
Or whatever streaming service it's on.
Oh really?
He's a fucking nut job. Like I just don't want him anywhere near the locker room.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm not. You know what? I might have felt differently about it 10 years ago. When he was still kind of in the prime of his career,
right,
and wasn't a fucking weirdo yet. Almost above, like take football out of the equation for a minute. I just don't want him. Like I just don't like him. Yeah. So I couldn't do it. But at the end of the day, like my team's my team, right?
Right.
And if that's what happened, then you better just fucking win. Just put the ball in the goddamn end zone.
Just win,
and then we'll figure everything else out. So, we go on to the end of the third here in Detroit. And Green Bay is now inside the 10. So, still can't get over that call.
Yeah.
So we talked about Washington blowing out Tennessee. We talked about Tampa Bay over Carolina. So Rams Saints.
That was the last one,
yeah. Yeah, that was one of the 3-4 o'clock games. I don't really remember much out of it. I mean, the Tampa Bay Carolina game was intriguing to me because I thought I could get my upset pick there. The Philadelphia-Baltimore game, they kind of were stuck on for a while.
Yeah.
So I retained a lot in that game. Didn't retain very much in the Rams-Saints game.
No, this was just a lot of Matt Stafford, Kyron Williams. Like Matt had 2 touchdowns, I think, and then Williams had like 1. It was just the Rams win. Yeah.
So we don't really have much to add to that one. And then we talked briefly about Buffalo, Browns, San Francisco, and the blizzard up in Buffalo there.
Yeah.
And then we talked about the Browns Browns Broncos game. Denver winning that one thanks in large part to the
Jameis.
pick sixes.
Yeah.
Jameis Winston's experience.
Yeah.
So all right, we made our picks for tonight. We've got no No Saturday games yet. They're coming up as we get closer to Christmas.
Yeah.
So let's go right into the Sunday slate. Do we want to talk our teams first?
Yeah, that's cool.
Go ahead. Go Browns, Steelers.
Yeah. I think this is a
blowout.
Yeah. This is easy for me.
But do
seven.
either of us want to make the Steelers our favorite at 7?
I will. I'll take them. Yeah, I'm taking them. Yeah,
we
that's fine.
We don't even need to talk about other games.
No, right into it. Yeah,
right.
I don't see any issue with this Browns team. I'm just gonna be take the 7 and we'll enjoy my win. I'm calling it.
Okay.
I mean,
I like the Browns now.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah. No, I think this is a revenge game, if you will. I don't think it's going to snow. I don't really think it will up there, but I don't know. Rain. Okay. Yeah, I think we can do well with that.
Which that only affects Ohio State, right?
No, only Ohio. And Ohio teams are talking just Ohio State.
Oh, it is an Ohio team though. Yeah.
It is, but we're just Ohio State. Yeah.
They don't like
but
it did not rain last Saturday either, by the way. What do they got? What is the excuse this week? Like, what's the one they're playing? Or is it just that their coach sucks?
Yeah, their coach sucks.
Coach sucks. Okay.
I think. Yeah.
Well, Will Howard concussion. That's the one that's really starting to freak out.
Yeah.
That's the one
that he was out for 2 plays.
That's the one that's going to be. That's going to be the excuse. Will Howard.
Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah.
No more cheating. No one can say anything about cheating.
That was the big one.
Yeah.
And I said that we win this game. That needs to go out the window.
It's done. No one can say that.
Yeah. And even you know what, to Andrew's credit, he kind of admitted that.
Yeah.
That you know what,
did better than anyone else.
He did it better than anybody else. So.
Yeah.
So I'm glad. It sounds like to me he watched the documentary. Everybody should do that.
Yes.
You get a little more perspective out of it. So, yeah, I'm on the Steelers as well.
Nice.
I mean, I'm obviously not rooting for them for various reasons, but Pittsburgh, I think they'll cover that.
Yeah. I do too.
Falcons, Vikings. This scares me. It scares me. Just because I feel like the teams are going in different directions right now.
Yeah.
So this is like that any given Sunday shit. Falcons and Vikings. Vikings are giving them 5.5. Cousins return to Minneapolis. He's not had a good couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know.
It's hard for me to go against my team.
Yeah.
But I have a weird feeling that number one, it's going to at the very least be close.
Yeah.
So I would feel comfortable giving 5.5 point lead. And by the way, Jacobs just scored a second touchdown.
Oh my God!
It's that call, 4-play 30-yard drive, thanks to the field position. So 40 seconds into the fourth, the Packers have regained the lead.
Yes.
I think an extra point could make it 28-24. Wait a minute, you're really close to my 31.
You are. Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think this is a game the Vikings can win. Probably no problem, but I hear what you're saying. I can see it happening. Kirk Cousins is coming back in. Gonna hear school again. Maybe we get some juice. I don't know. I'm not gonna touch this game. I am gonna take the Vikings. You should win this game.
I gotta see what the public's doing.
But
public's on Atlanta. Not by much, 55-45, but
wow,
they're kind of feeling the same way I am. Which makes me like the Vikings more. I like that.
Yeah, So I am going to take the Vikings.
I
think it's going to be a close game again, though. I think another time when maybe the offense just starts out a little too slow. But yeah, I'm taking the Vikings. I like the Vikings. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm going to take Minnesota, but not the cover.
Yes, same.
That's where I'm going to go.
Yeah.
Same. You like giving the point. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go Jets, Dolphins. Jets are getting 5.5.
AFC East. Yeah, I just the Dolphins are good. Dolphins, give me the Dolphins.
Yeah, I like the Dolphins.
Yeah,
too.
I will take the Dolphins.
Jets again. The Saints and the Giants. Giants get 4.5. I believe. I read that they're still sticking with Drew Lock, who I think is a little bit better situation. I'm not really sure why they went DeVito right away. I thought Locke.
I agree.
I
don't know why
he did that. On Thanksgiving, I know he still lost the game, but he just the eye test he seemed to play a little bit better.
Yeah.
Again, I feel like I haven't really trusted the Saints all year, and have kind of picked against them a little bit. I believe the Giants have not won a home game yet this year.
Oh my God, that's great. That's crazy.
but I think this is a spot that they do.
I remember watching the Giants-Browns game this year, and that's one of their wins. The Giants.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I can't believe that the Giants won that game.
Was that at home? Did they have a home win? Am I wrong on that?
No, I don't think so. No, the Giants lost. Or they won in Cleveland. We won. Okay. So
yeah. So I like the Giants.
Yeah, I do. I do too in this situation here. Yeah, maybe you're right. I think they may be able to pull out their first win. So, but I do like them with the points. Yeah.
Okay. Carolina, Philadelphia. Philly's laying 13 at home. I think they cover that.
Yeah.
I've picked Carolina quite a few times this year. Did pick against them against Kansas City. They played them tough. So the Panthers are overall playing better football than they were at the start of the year. But, the Eagles are just on a different level right now.
They are. Yeah, I agree. I think, I don't know if I don't even know if the Panthers can cover this game. I don't know. But I like the Eagles a lot.
Okay. We're still at 1 o'clock. Vegas at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay game is 6.5. I definitely like the Bucs to win. A little nervous on 6.5.
Yeah.
I feel like even when Tampa Bay's been winning, they've been making it interesting.
I like the Raiders to cover here.
You like the Raiders to cover?
I don't think they'll win, but definitely cover. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you. Last 1 o'clock game, Jacksonville at Tennessee. Who cares?
Yeah.
Tennessee's favored by 3.5.
Give me Tennessee.
Sure.
Like Tennessee.
Yeah, I don't.
Their defense is better.
Although the only thing that scares me is probably the half. I could see this being, like a 16-13 game or something.
Yeah.
So the half point scares me a little bit. You know what? For that reason, maybe I'd take Jacksonville.
Wow.
I just it's a who gives a shit game.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to play out that way. I think we're going to be talking about it.
What a terrible game.
And I'm going to remember that I said that. Like it's going to be.
Yeah.
It's going to be a game that we rush right past next week because we're like, oh yeah, 13-10, cool. A couple 4 o'clock games, 3 of them. Seattle at Arizona.
Ooh, good divisional game.
Which it's kind of a really slow week for sure. Because I know the Monday night game is not exciting. So this might be my game of the day, I guess.
Wow.
It's not highlighted as the game of the week. Buffalo and the Rams are. But I think Seattle and Arizona could wind up being the best game. And it was actually a good game a couple weeks ago. Low scoring. It was 16-6. Pick 6 was kind of the difference in that game. Seattle did win that. I think this is a bounce back for Arizona to make this division race interesting. Seattle's up by a game right now.
Yeah.
If they win it, they're tied. They both would be tied with each other head to head.
That would be good.
It just sets up for a cool.
It does.
NFC West race.
Yeah, I like Arizona here. I want it to be more chaos, so that's what I'm going with. Yeah, I like that.
And they played good. They played good against the Vikings. They blew it. Like I said, Minnesota turned on the switch a little bit in the fourth quarter, but if Arizona wouldn't have settled for field goals in the first half, maybe that's a different ballgame. They're talking about the Monday night game, which we'll get to in a minute, but it is the Simpsons.
The Simpsons. I actually am kind of excited to see
I always tune into those like Nickelodeon broadcast things because the kids kind of enjoy it too. So I'll probably tune into that Monday night.
That'd be fun.
It makes that game, because right now on paper, with record-wise, it just doesn't seem to matter. But
give me the Bengals will
watch it. What is that on again? Is it on the Nickelodeon thing? Is it a Netflix thing? I didn't catch that.
I think it might be a Disney thing. I think Simpsons are owned by Disney, so it could be like Disney Plus if you have that.
Sure. All right.
Maybe. So
check your local listings.
Yeah, really.
And maybe when we get to the Monday night preview, maybe it'll say something in there.
Yeah.
So Fox is deeming this the game of the week. The Bills at the Rams.
Okay.
Rams are getting 3.5. Especially with that nice stadium at SoFi, this is going to be heavy Buffaloes. I know the Rams are at home.
Oh, yeah.
But crowd-wise, I would expect probably 60%.
Yeah.
If
a lot
not
of
more.
Bills.
I mean, this might be closer to 70%.
Yeah.
Bills fans. I think Buffalo keeps it rolling.
Yeah, I do too. I don't see a whole lot. I think 3.5 is too low too, to be honest with you. So
I'm guessing the public's all over Buffalo, right? 76%.
Yeah.
So always the thing that gives us pause.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Bills.
Yeah, I am too.
The Bears at the 49ers. 49ers are giving them 4. I think San Francisco does get a win. I wonder if this ends up being a good game.
I know. I feel like the Bears. I think I want to take the Bears here after the firing, after all this other stuff leading up to this game. Give me the Bears. I will take the Bears. Unfortunately, I would take them as my.
San Francisco's just so depleted.
Yeah, I would take them as my upset, but I can't. So.
One good thing is, even though Chicago was traveling, they had a couple extra days to prepare with Thanksgiving Day game and getting the new coaching staff in there.
Yeah.
And San Francisco played the late game Sunday night, and they also are traveling back from the East Coast to play this game at home. So
yeah.
Sunday night game, Chargers at the Chiefs. Maybe this ends up being a game tonight, I guess. I think Seattle Arizona's gonna be a good game though. Chargers Chiefs. Chiefs are giving them 4.
Good divisional game here. I like the Chargers to cover this.
Yeah, so I think the Chargers can win the game.
Yeah, I do too. Right. Yeah, I think Chargers. Wow, 70% on the Chargers. Ooh, don't like that. But yeah, I like the points there.
So Goff just reported into the red zone for Detroit. 11 minutes to go, down by 4. Setting up for a good finish here, it looks like. Monday Night Football, and we talked about this with the Simpsons broadcast. Again, I'm not seeing where it is. So, public's all over the Bengals. Cowboys are getting 5.5 at home.
That's crazy.
And Dallas is on technically a 2-game winning streak. People still believe in the Burrow and the Bengals. Yeah,
I know their defense is very bad, but I feel like they can outscore the Cowboys in this game. But I think I like the 5.5. I don't know. I'm not sure.
That's where I'm at. I'm having a hard time picking a winner in this game.
Yeah.
So just give me the 5.5, and I would probably run with it. I may come back to it. I may consider it as my upset pick, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So I think the only thing we have on the board right now is Steelers as your favorite.
Yeah. So I'll let you go I'll let you go whatever one you'd want first.
Yeah. Let me go
upset
first. Detroit's got second and goal, by the way. So we're considering Dallas. It's too hard for me to go against my team.
Yeah.
As much as I kind of feel like maybe I should, from a points perspective. And really, I don't have. So our rule for the NFL is 5. So
right.
I really only have only have 4 games to choose from. So I got that Bengals Cowboys game. I got Jets Dolphins, Falcons Vikings, and Raiders Buccaneers. Man, this is a tough one for me. Let me go ahead and I'll take the Cowboys.
Okay.
I'll take the Cowboys. A little bit reluctantly. I probably, my head is actually telling me to do the Falcons.
That's what
I just can't. And I know you're probably.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yeah,
you're gonna do it.
Yeah, I'm doing it. I have to. I was just waiting for you to just, if you were gonna do, I was gonna, of course. But yeah, that's mine. That's mine.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. All right.
Come on, please.
Another touchdown.
No.
On 3rd and goal, 8.5 to go.
I need it.
I need the Lions to. Miss this extra point to be score now at this point. I really thought Green Bay would take a 31-24 lead and it would come down to the 3 quarters.
Yeah.
Not going to happen. So let's see if Jake Bates misses this.
Yeah, that would be huge.
My score can be in line here. You're now over.
Yeah, I'm done.
Got a good game either way, which is kind of what we thought coming into the night. We might come down to a 1 possession. There was the ball at. Oh, I thought he was going to miss it. All right, so he did make the extra point. 8:39 to go. 31-28 Detroit. Not sure we're going to stay on here through the end of the game.
Yeah.
I'm sure me and him are probably going to watch it.
Yeah.
Maybe we hop back on if something really crazy happens.
Yeah.
It is the anniversary of Rodgers throwing a Hail Mary again.
Oh, man, what a
game.
game.
Maybe a Jordan Love situation.
Wow.
If it's setting up for that, we can always, fly right back on you.
Yeah.
So let me pick my favorite of the week. I mean, I guess there's no rule saying that I can't pick.
No, you can do the same.
I could do the same, only the opposite way. Do a favorite.
Right.
But I'm not going to do that.
Oh, no, Steelers?
Well, no. I'm talking. My favorite could be your upset.
Oh, yeah, right. Because we can't pick the same, but yeah.
And I'm not picking Browns. What's that?
Yeah.
So 5-point spreads. Do I do Dolphins? Do I do Eagles? The Bucks? It's really the only two choices I got. Man, the Giants have a point.
Yeah.
I could have taken the Giants. Oh no, they were underdogs. Never mind. That's what I meant. If they had another half point, I would have taken the Giants. That's my upset pick of the week.
For a limited time, get iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. And iPad and Apple Watch Series 10, all three on us.
I'm going to go against the grain a little bit. I'm going to take the Buccaneers, give it up 6.5.
Okay.
Even though I think I did say I'd take the Raiders in the points.
Yeah.
Okay. They know Tampa's... Now that Atlanta has come back down to earth, Tampa knows.
They got their shot.
Yeah. I think they're going to prove it and show it off. So I'll take the Bucks.
I like it.
So you got Steelers -7, Falcons +5.5. I got the Bucks -6.5, Cowboys +5.5.
Nice.
So,
all right.
see where it goes from there. So we are
good show.
Planning on being back on the air Thursday night football.
Yeah.
Rams 49ers.
Rams 49ers. I like that. Be a good divisional matchup.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
I got some Niners fans. Maybe we'll see if we can get a guest on.
Heck yeah.
My nephew's a Rams fan. I don't know if this is his thing.
Okay.
To do anything like this, but yeah, maybe we can get some banter just to kind of juice the game up a little bit. We'll have a little bit less to talk about when it comes to college football because we only have really although we want to talk kind of playoff preview and do that. So
right. Because everything will be set then. Yeah, It should be set. So
we're going off the air right now.
All right.
Detroit up 31-28. We'll if we don't come back on to talk anything crazy on this one, we will recap it next week for you guys.
Yes. All right. Good show. All righty. Love you guys.
Go Blue.
Go Blue.